clothes are worth more than my car.
I thought Shiima Xion was coming out here. Isn't this Dave Navarro? What is going on?
I know I said no flashes, I'm going to give you one shot. Get it out of your system. Shiima Xion is going to give you a pose. For the you're gonna take pictures, get them out of the way out, because they're in the chest. Alright, I'm going to get it on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
This must be his opponent, Jason Gory. Couldn't take it any longer. It's time for, after over a year of training, his IWC debut in his hometown.
Jason Gory exploding out of the locker room, very eager to make his IWC debut. Same for Shiima Xion. This is a big match. Someone's going to win their first one here.
I've heard a lot of great things about both of these athletes. It's Jason Gory's determination against Shiima Xion's conceit. And who's going to win out? Which mindset is going to win out here in the debut for both of these guys?
Well, they seem to match up pretty evenly physically. We'll see what they can do in the ring. We know what Shiima Xion can do outside the ring. Obviously selling lots of pictures of himself to a lot of big magazines across the world.
We'd be remiss if we didn't remind everyone that Chris Maverick, his business manager, is at ringside. His business manager and personal photographer. You gotta wonder if he might get involved in this matchup. Shiima Xion, the world wrestling's first Filipino male supermodel here in the ring. You know, rumors are that he and Paris Hilton are actually good friends. She's a big she-mark from what I hear.
Really? I think Paris Hilton has a lot of good friends from what I hear.
I have her phone number. You want to call her and ask her?
That's okay.
Okay.
Jason Gory now, standing switch with Xion, taking over with his hammerlock as Maverick applauds. Works on the arm, takes him over. Xion flipping over and continuing to work on the arm.
Great chain wrestling by both men. You know, I've talked to their trainers. I've talked to fellow wrestlers. Everyone thinks these guys are ready and rightfully deserve this opportunity, but you have to wonder if nerves are going to be a factor. They've never done anything like this before, especially in front of a crowd as big as this.
That's right, so much on the line here. Big hip toss there by Shiima Xion. A lot, obviously the only chance to make a first impression.
We do know a lot about Shiima, his tours all over the world as a very successful model. Not much known about Jason Gory. He is shrouded in mystery. We see is that very mysterious face paint on his face. We're told that represents his various mood swings. Shiima hits a slam to take Gory down and take control.
Well, we saw a lot of arrogance out of Shiima Xion coming out here. We're seeing a lot of science from him right now. Obviously, the coalition and competition doing a great job of both of these young guys.
That's right, and I like the fact that they've been in there for a long time. Obviously, you can't become a wrestler in a very short period of time. Nice hip toss there by Gory. These guys have paid their dues for quite a long time before stepping into the ring for the first time. It's a two count. I think that's what you got. That's what you have to do.
Absolutely, and either of these guys could learn a lot from the man in the ring as their referee, CJ Sensation. If either of them do as well in their career as CJ Sensation was able to do before his career-ending, almost life-ending injury.
Xion taking Gory down by the neck, but Gory's got him. Round and round we go. Nice head scissors takes Xion out of the ring. Very good move by Jason Gory.
Shiima right on his head. And who would have thought, seeing Shiima in the shadows all these months, that when his real personality finally came out, he would end up like this.
Whoa!
Oh, man, Gargano, my God! I don't believe I just saw that.
Didn't touch anything. Over and out, Jason Gory flying with the greatest of ease.
And this is a rookie. He looked like AJ Styles out there in his first IWC match.
Obviously has absolutely no regard for his personal safety. That'll go a long way in this business.
He's on top again.
Here we go. What? Was there something got him in the eye?
Something in his eye?
Didn't see him get hit by anything.
I think it may have been a flash bulb.
A flash bulb?
I think it may have been a camera flash.
Maverick does have those high-powered cameras that he always takes up for his photography. And now Shiima in control. Hits a DDT right on the apron of the ring, right on the edge of the ring. And Jason Gory has no idea where he is right now.
And this is Zion's chance to really take over here. Gets a 2 count.
Oh, I think Jason Gory knows where he is, and where he is in trouble. He cannot see, and Shiima Xion is taking advantage of it quickly.
And this is where a wrestler has to learn to hit the big moves and really put an opponent away.
What the heck is this?
Look at this. He's got the legs grapevine. He seems to be calling for some poses.
I thought he was going for an Oklahoma roll. He's put together a very innovative submission.
Checking out the abs. The thing is, the submission hold is working pretty well, but he's almost not taking it too seriously.
Now he is. Hands locked together, fingers laced together around the chin.
Really bending Gory back here. I know Gory's not going to tap out in this situation. Shiima Xion, I should say, getting a little frustrated. He seems to be very moody and temperamental.
Well, he is a fashion model. I mean,
say no more.
Yeah.
Irish whip sends Gory back into the corner. Xion catches him with a hard elbow to the mouth.
He's probably binging and purging right up until the start of the match.
Good looking back suplex.
But Shiima once again playing to the crowd. As a model, he's used to playing to the crowd, used to showing his body off. This is professional wrestling, a whole different world.
Here we go. Rolls him over the pin. I think that move was his Midnight Panda seizure, but he only got 1 out. Gory able to escape.
I'm sorry, could you tell me the name of that again?
I think if I'm correct, that was the Midnight Panda seizure.
Jason with a great counter into an arm drag. Beautiful standing drop kick. Jason Gory knows where he is now. That's his hometown. And for all his friends and family, great modified bulldog. Jason Gory comes back to get a count of 2.
Only 2. Gory very close to winning his IWC debut.
And Chris Maverick on the outside is living. Handspring, back elbow, countered into a knee.
Good counter there.
Knee into the base of the spine.
Xion saw that coming. That was a good defensive move. Chris Maverick exhorting his man on, seeing if Xion can take over one more time.
Well, for two guys who spent a lot of time together as they were training, it's not a matter of having to scout each other. You were there. You were there when this machine was being built.
That's right, and we'll see which one can dismantle the other machine. Stomping Gory into the corner now, Shiima Xion, and taking over the referee. And here comes Chris Maverick, being a little more than a business manager.
Now this is a veteran tactic here, knowing right where to position the referee. Shiima, even though he may have a chip on his shoulder, he's been scouting tapes, he's been watching in the background. As we said, both these guys have worked on IWC security. They've been able to scout the veterans and know what to do.
Well, that's the thing. It's one thing to learn how to wrestle. It's another thing altogether, boys, to learn how to win.
That's right, 2 count there. It looks like Chris Maverick really learned a lot from all his time he spent at ringside, as he knew exactly when to interfere when the referee didn't see. Xion sending Gory into the ropes, puts him over, and there's the QAS and a 2 count. I'm not sure if we can say what that stands for.
Quick as something or other, but that was an impressive move. A version of Amazing Red's Code Red. Gory just keeps breaking out the awesome high-risk maneuvers.
And Gory has really turned this crowd on, even just when he came out here. He's really got a crowd-pleasing style.
And listen to the fan reaction. And these are these 2 men's first appearance. The crowd really isn't very familiar with these guys yet, and they're reacting like this.
Whoa, Xion was trying to block those punches.
He hit him right in the face.
Right in the face, exactly what Chris Maverick did not want.
Maverick is livid. His investment may be going up in smoke here because he bruises easily.
He's going from
He's
lost to dust.
dust.
Gory counters it.
No, he can't get it. Countered off. And Maverick interfering again. Uh-oh, he's got Chris Maverick. Look out. Here comes Xion. No, he missed.
Tactical error. Both members of that team go down.
Gory blocks it. There's the masochistic healing.
Incredible.
The one-man standing Spanish fly.
And he got on.
Effort.
Now that was impressive.
No. The stagecoach is going all the way to the west. We're the first stagecoach to blaze that trail east to west.
Did you just read a book like The Complete Idiot's Guide to Metaphors or something?
It's like trying to change a car going uphill. You can't do it. Change tires.
Going until the car's moving.
Exactly, it's impossible. That's quite the selection for the music for Zion and Maverick. Mav's been training hard for this match. Lots of cardio.
I saw him actually earlier today out eating at McDonald's. But he wasn't eating McDonald's food, he was eating health food. As he sat around all the larger people eating McDonald's food. And it was motivating him to get into shape for this match.
Oh, baby! The Gambino brothers.
It's going to be a long match. We're on the air yet.
Are you going to give us a signal?
I'm waiting. We're on right now.
Oh, he gives us a signal.
We're technically on. I don't start talking to the moment. In case the edge is shut your yap, boy. This is the signal in Morocco. The signal is livestock talk.
That's what we always leave the stage goes.
We are getting set for tag team action with a lot of history behind it as the Gambino brothers, Mickey and Marshall, take on the international males, Shiima Xion and the Prophet Chris Maverick. Joe Dombrowski joined now by another special guest. It seems to be the running theme here in Uniontown, the cousin to Mickey and Marshall, Delicious Jimmy DeMarco.
Hi fans, it's great to be here tonight alongside one of the best up-and-coming play-by-play men in the business, Joe Dombrowski.
Well, I appreciate that. And we are also joined by the one and only resident of Muscle Beach, Chest Flexor. I don't know if he will actually lend any words to the broadcast, but regardless, it is Marshall Gambino and Chris Maverick circling each other center ring. And Mr. Delicious, I know you go a long way back with Mickey and Marshall being their family member, but you also go a long way back with Shiima and Chris Maverick, not only in training, but over the past year in the ring as well.
Yeah, both these guys, they know what they're doing in the ring, especially Shiima. Mav, not so much. I mean, you know, he's a manager and whatnot. He looks like he's been getting in shape for this match pretty good, but Marshall, he's got one hell of a clothesline, and Mickey, his pec, he has so much control in his pecs. It's ridiculous. He can actually do jingle bells with him if he tries for the holiday season.
Well, that's a very interesting analysis, as Marshall the Bull, collar and elbow tie-up with Maverick, go behind, and make no mistake about it, the Prophet of Prophet doesn't step in the ring very often. Marshall just uses that power of his body, that big frame, to send Maverick down. Maverick doesn't step in the ring too often, but he's very, very skilled. He's got the same training background as all three of these other competitors.
Why is he wasting energy doing push-ups and stuff like that?
That's a very good question. I think in his mind he's trying to prove to Marshall and Mickey that he is in shape, that he is on their level. But he should be focusing on trying to knock down this near 300-pound bull. And Marshall with a takedown right into the side headlock. What have Mickey and Marshall been doing to prepare for this matchup? Because I know there's a lot on the line for the tag team division here. They have an upcoming tag title shot in a week's time against Tracy Smothers, Chris Hammer, Southern Comfort. And I know they've got to been doing a lot of preparation for that clash.
They've been disposing a lot of bad meat into the river and stuff like that. Bad carpeting, from our other endeavors.
Was there anything rolled into that carpet, or is that just a rumor?
Possibly nothing illegal though. Just stuff like dirty carpeting, bad meat, bones and whatnot, animal bones, nothing but like.
So you guys go to the river and you dispose of a lot of carpeting.
Oh yeah, you could say that. Carpeting.
Yeah, carpeting.
Rats and
not carcasses, carpeting. That is Mickey Gambino now tagged in.
All hell is broken loose in Uniontown, folks.
It's Mickey and Shiima. Certainly a party-like atmosphere whenever we come to the Uniontown VFW. I think that's about you in about 3 hours there, Mr. Delicious.
Possibly. They don't call me Delicious for anything. I'm quite possibly the most mouth-watering man in IWC next to Joe Dombrowski.
Well, you know what's delicious, and you certainly indulge. Mickey with a side headlock.
Mickey's a really good technical master. People don't understand that. He knows quite a few ways to get into out of tricks.
Mickey is the map prowess of the team. Marshall provides the raw power. Mickey, I think, is one of the most well-rounded athletes here in IWC because we've seen him brawl in this building. We've seen him wrestle. We've even seen him fly. There's really nothing in the ring that Mickey Gambino can't do.
As I said before, his pec control is above average. And you Joe, you know your wrestling and you know your bodybuilding styles and all that.
Oh, do I now?
And now, what's your opinion?
Well, Mickey Gambino obviously very well put together. If you're going to think about some of the best physiques in IWC, some of the best conditions, some of the most muscular, you think of guys like Bolin, like Hentai, and like Mickey Gambino, who has got to be 3 times the size he was when he made his debut.
And you say Mickey, and you put him in the same league as Bolin and Hentai, but I'm going to say Mickey's stronger than him because he has tendon strength. You saw, and he has brain strength, and he's very powerful.
Not discredit any of Mickey Gambino's physical or mental attributes in there. Marshall hooks Shiima up. Vertical suplex. Shiima lands hard. Shiima Xion, you notice him? Oh no, not the hair. Oh.
I love it.
That might have messed up a future shoot in Milan or something.
That's true. Marshall, he just doesn't care. That's why they call him the Bull. He'll mess you up.
I don't know why you would care about another man's hair in a wrestling contest. Unless you're Glenn Spector. As I was mentioning earlier, Xion with his hip taped up there. Follow-away slam sent him completely out of the ring. Shiima hurting himself at Revengeance 2 with a huge dive on Troy Lawrence. Did not quite connect. But still, Shiima Xion's not a quitter. He's not going to rest on his laurels. He's out there competing. Give him credit for that despite that model attitude he possesses.
Is it just me or does Mav look like offspring of RuPaul and Dennis Rodman? A fan's holding Mav.
Oh man,
did you hear that? It sounds like Rocky Balboa slamming raw meat, doesn't it, Joe?
Right, you are.
Oh, here we go, double, Joe. Listen, all the fans in Uniontown are holding him.
Ouch.
I love that.
Well, there's really no way around that. Obviously, it'd be a good idea for security to try to keep the fans out of the action, but you cannot blame Mickey and Marshall for capitalizing on the hand they were dealt.
Uniontown's a wild crowd. That's why we like coming here, right, Joe?
It's an unexpected atmosphere.
I heard you met your current fiance here in Uniontown. Is there any truth to that rumor?
Well, no, I won't go there.
All right, then we're going to stray from that subject at the moment.
Mickey with a scoop slams down Shiima. I could have said something less than nice there, but I don't think I will. I like the Uniontown atmosphere.
That's why you're a class act, Joe. Everyone here in Uniontown respects when you come to town because they know you always bring it.
Oh, yeah. Hey, you saw a moment ago, I really bring them out of their chairs, don't I?
You do. I mean, I got here earlier this morning. I thought these fans wanted autographs from Delicious, but you know what they wanted? They wanted Dombrowski.
Well, I wouldn't go quite that far. I mean, the true stars, the true athletes are in the ring.
Don't sell yourself short. You're quite the ladies' man.
Well, that's your opinion, but
if I was a chick, I'd give you
okay. I don't think we need to pursue that avenue any further. Double sledge by Maverick as he takes over on Mickey Gambino now, isolating the smaller of the team.
Well, he's obviously bigger than Mav, but Mav, he got that martial arts background. Look at that
monkey flip by the Mavrosexual, the greatest man alive, as he calls himself.
The greatest man, he calls himself that.
I swear he does.
That's disturbing.
That's got to be the biggest ego I've ever seen.
That's true.
But Maverick is in control now. He's got something to brag about. Beautiful takeover into a cross arm breaker.
Get him out of the ring. Come on.
Photo op with hairspray.
That's a 4-0. He should be disqualified for at least 3 different reasons there.
And Marshall Gambino baited into the ring with that. Surprised he didn't get any hairspray in Mav's eyes there. That could have been disastrous for the international mail.
Mav's got a lot of other things in his eyes before, and he's still standing.
I'm not going to ask what that means. I'll just take that at face value.
Fingers and thumbs.
Oh.
I mean, you're in the ring, it happens sometimes.
Well, that's true. Double team here. Sensation's got to exert that 5 count. Mickey gets dumped.
Kick out. Yeah, there you go, Mick.
Shiima now with a blatant choke to Mickey Gambino. CJ Sensation trying to exert that authority again, but a distraction with Maverick. I think he's playing with about hairspray in his eyes or something. And Marshall has to get involved.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to end up getting in trouble, but, sometimes you just got to do it.
Can't say I can blame him here, the way Shiima Xion and Chris Maverick are baiting him in there.
You can't take anything away from Shiima Xion, He's a very good athlete.
Indeed, cover a count of 2, but that lackadaisical, cocky pin by Shiima Xion is not going to put down any member of the Gambino family.
No. I agree with you there, Joe. Sunset flip, nice.
Mickey trying to muscle him down, but Shiima leverages his way out, connects with a back elbow. Another cover, almost got him that time, 2.5 at least.
Mickey's not going to be pinned that easy.
Mickey may be fading fast. You've known this guy a long time, since birth probably. How much
I've known him since before that. We used to contact him inside the womb.
Well, that's interesting, but how much fight does Mickey have left in him at this point?
Oh, he has a lot of fight. I remember one time when we were younger, ice cream truck came around the block. Mickey, it went by us. It went by us because we were the only 2 kids on the corner. Mickey ran it down and made it stop about 2 blocks later. And I was, I'm suck at cardio. And I caught up with him a little bit later. We each had ice snow cones that day. It was delicious. That's why I got my name, Delicious.
I want to ask what you guys did to the ice cream man later that night by the river.
Well, we didn't do nothing to him. We took over a little bit of his profit. It's called entrepreneurship. That's why everyone always has to say a bad word for it. Mickey got to make his tag in. Well, it's enough about the Gambino business. Mickey got to make tag.
Mickey does hit a desperation spine buster and is inching his way towards Marshall.
Oh, there you go.
And in comes the big bull. Takes down Maverick. Look out, Shiima. Lands on the back of his head. Side slam. Double side slam. Scoops down Maverick as he drives down Shiima.
I'm getting a call from Grandma Gambino right now saying she's proud of this match.
How is she watching now?
She's in the crowd. She has a cell phone, man. It's 2005, right? Almost 2006.
Boy, nothing gets by you. Forearm charge by Mickey. Marshall, the forearm! Charging spear!
And he already has bad ribs and hips, right?
He elevated him about 5 feet off the ground.
That was nice. I like that. What do you think, Joe?
That was unbelievable.
I know you're supposed to be unbiased, but who are you pulling for in this match?
Well, no, that would defeat the purpose of being unbiased.
I guess so.
But Mickey, we talked about his ability to fly.
Love it. Oh my God, I'm standing up right now. You people can't see me. I'm standing up.
Pescado to the floor.
Did you hear that? You hear what they're saying?
I do. Hey, Gambinos are very impressive. I'm not doubting that.
They're going to be tag champs soon.
They may very well be in about 8 days. Mickey and Shiima battling on the outside. Mav lands on his feet, pops right back up with a drop kick.
Sweet ghetto music calls it. Kick out, Marshall.
Good sense of agility there, but Mickey in to save his brother.
Nice. You're really good at commentary. I got to say, I like you.
Well, I try.
Fisherman Buster.
Drives him down head first.
He learned that when we were about 8 years old. And he's been doing it ever since.
Well, that's not exactly safe, but I wouldn't recommend that for any of our younger fans at home. Shiima catches the foot of Mickey and drops him with a DDT. And Mickey already has so much taken out of him from the prior events of this matchup thus far. Marshall with a couple of forearms has Shiima back in the corner, but right from behind.
He's got those educated feet. Wink,
Indeed
wink.
He does. Mav now helping out with a double team. Marshall into the corner. Mav sent into Marshall. And now a little poetry in motion here. Oh my God! Marshall caught him like he was nothing and chokeslammed him on top of Mav. And we got a big heap of international mail. I love it. Laying in the corner.
Joe Dombrowski, this is the most fun I've had all month. Being here with you watching. Uh-oh. Are we going to see the curse? Or something different?
Got him set up. Across the knee. Setting up for the curse of the Gambino from the very top rope. Can Mickey, can he hit it?
Mickey's high flying right now.
He's down. Shiima Xion feels the curse of the Gambinos. Mickey cuts off Maverick and Marshall scores the pin.
And that's why they're the #1 contenders for the Tag Team Championship.
But will the complex MCMG offense be enough to stop the Babyface Fire Tag Team franchise?
Wait a minute. What is Jason Gory wearing? Do you see what I see, Joe?
Jason Gory with a little bit of a new look. A little bit of a shades of his partner, Shiima Xion. Babyface Fire. Look, they look more cohesive than ever. Maybe a perfect strategy for the machine gun.
Gory has Shima's face on his ass and he has his leg on his side. Does that mean their relationship has gone to the next level?
I don't think so, and I know for a fact you can talk about somebody's posterior without swearing, so if you wouldn't mind, sir.
That's not really a bad word, is it?
Anything's a bad word when it's coming out of your mouth.
What about when it's going in my mouth?
Well, then that's where I tag out.
I mean, does that make my food that I eat that?
Crowd firmly behind Sabin and Shelley, a tag team that stole the show, quite frankly, this past December against M-Dog 20 and Josh Prohibition. A tag team that took sexual harassment to their limit before one quick mistake, one slight error led to sexual harassment, capitalizing like that and picking up the win. And you know the Guns, Shiima's trying to find out who likes to clap. The Guns would love to be in the tag team title hunt. They came within a hair of beating sexual harassment before, and with sexual harassment as the current champions, they'd love to test them again. Collar and elbow. It is Chris Sabin, former multiple-time TNA X Division champion, former IWC Super Indy champion. Went 2 years without being pinned in IWC at one point.
He was never beaten for the belt either, Joe, was he?
That's correct. He had a forfeited due to injury. As Shiima Xion now floats over into the front chancery on Sabin. These men have met before in singles competition.
Right here in Newville.
Right here in Newville, just up the road a little bit. That's
you can purchase that on DVD.
You absolutely can. There you go, helping out your boy Tony F again. Sabin, now the wrist lock on Shiima. And you gotta wonder what condition Shiima Xion is. Just 2 weeks ago, a huge gash on the back of his head as a result of a chair shot and that TLC match with sexual harassment. You gotta wonder if Shiima is 100% yet.
I've had lots of gashes on my head and that stuff doesn't heal quickly, Joe.
Sabin rolls through. Check out great agility, lightning fast offense on Sabin. And before you know it, he's on the other side with an arm drag takedown. But Shiima comes right back. A little bit of a lucha libre style offense here. Shiima, of course, spending time in Mexico in the recent past. And Shiima gets ahead of steam and takes Sabin down. Drop kick follow through, and Shiima is dominating early. Check out Alex Shelley.
Would you say that Shiima's the quickest guy on the roster?
He very well may be, but not when you're stuck in an abdominal stretch by Shelley. And Sabin came through with a drop kick. And check out how quick the machine guns go. There's no wasted motion. It's constant offense.
Do you think there's any team in wrestling that works as well together as the Motor City Machine Gun?
I think it'd be hard-pressed to find any. Certainly none that I've seen in recent memory. And check out the innovation. These are moves you just don't see in this part of the hemisphere.
I don't know if you see them in any hemisphere.
Exactly. Alex Shelley with hard forearms. Both these men would love a tag title opportunity. This match is going to go a long way to determine that. Shelley drops the knee. Cover. Shelley, an IWC veteran, been competing here off and on since the summer of 2003. And certainly he has grown and prospered all over the world so much since then.
Oh, wait a minute.
Blind tag by Gory, springs into the drop kick. And Babyface Fire proving that if you want to go quick, they're not shy about matching you move for move.
Maybe Gory's the fastest guy in IWC.
Would not surprise me in the least.
Whoa!
Swings through the rope for the drop kick. Cover. Shelley quickly gets off his back. As we are watching two of the best teams in the business today, Motor City Machine Guns, Babyface Fire, Gory steady moonsault, but Shelley gets the knees up. I am Joe Dombrowski, ringside for the International Wrestling Cartel in Newville, joined by the good Reverend Dr. Jimmy DeMarco. And Shelley sets up Gory for another submission attempt here, stretching the entire body, specifically the back across the knee and the legs over the neck.
Shiima needs to break the rules and just get in there and break the hold because Gory can't take a lot of that. He doesn't have a high pain threshold. He's a sissy.
I wouldn't say that at all. As Shelley traps Gory again, Gory has been through cage matches. He's been through TLC matches. He's dove off balconies. Gory is fearless.
Yeah, but I think
shoulders down, cover to a note. As you were saying?
I said I think Shelley's tougher than buildings.
Well, we'll see.
He's tougher than fire trucks. He's tougher than cages.
Fire trucks. Gory, well, fighting back. And a hell of a slap. And Gory continues to return the face. But Shelley with a takedown. Shelley carrying more body weight that may be advantageous to him in the short term. And Sabin in with a save.
See, Sabin's not afraid to go in there and make the big save.
Not at all. Well, the Motor City Machine Guns are a solidified team. They know what the other's thinking. They know what the other can take. And the tag has been made now to Shiima Xion. Double charge with a clothesline and a shoulder block. Shelley down. 2 and no. Babyface Fire.
I think they call that move unbelievable.
Well, I'll take your word for it. They may be trying to out Shelley and Sabin. Shelley and Sabin. No easy task. With a cover, no.
Well, they do Shelley and Sabin better than Shelley and Sabin do Shelley and Sabin. Wouldn't that make them not Shelley and Sabin? Wouldn't that make them Shiima and Gory?
It's a conundrum as Shelley, the victim of a double team, and 4 feet right to the temples, a cover, and again an interruption by Chris Sabin. And keep in mind the youth in this matchup. You got Shelley and Sabin in their mid-20s. You got Shiima and Gory, a couple of 21-year-old prodigies. Certainly, all 4 of these men, you add them all together, an average age of, what, 23, 22, you got to think, somewhere around there. But they are this talented and this well-traveled. Shiima measures Shelley with the knee. Cover. Only count of 1. Again, see Shelley getting off his back very, very quickly. Mark of great ring presence. Don't want to get caught sleeping. Shelley sent for the ride now. Elbow. Shiima catches the foot, drops. Shelley with the inverted DT. Sabin tries to charge in, and check this out.
Oh, I thought he had him there. Wait a minute.
He's got both machine guns down, double pin, but Shelley scoops the hands right up, and Sabin connects with a drop kick.
Only Shiima Xion is man enough to pin 2 men at once.
And Jason Gory now in. Watch Sabin met him with a knee.
On top of being really fast, machine guns are really hard hitters too, you know what I mean?
Well, you need to hit hard, yeah, there's a hell of a clothesline.
See what I mean?
It wasn't hard to figure out, yeah, there's no doubt about it. You got a lot of
things like this, Joe.
A lot of power. I'm glad for you. Serves a purpose for you out here, it's great. Shiima trying to get this raucous Newville crowd behind Babyface Fire, but tough to do when 2 teams such as these are so well respected universally. Hard jabs by Sabin. And his team here connects with a drop kick. Right to the back of the head. This could be all here. Hook up both legs, 2 and no. And Sabin, smart tag team wrestling, does not let Gory out of his grasp. Keeps contact.
Oh.
Head first into both waiting boots of Shelley. And it's the 2-on-1 here. Look for something intricate here. The inverted top drop. Takes away the vertical base into the overhead neck snap, and Sabin just measures him.
He was in the ropes. Why was our referee, Stephen Coulter, not telling him to get off the ropes?
Good question.
Maybe they paid him off.
Well, Coulter's not been above that in the past, but I somehow cannot picture...
he has a history of doing favors for money. You know what I mean?
I will take your word for that as well. But I don't think either of these four men are going to go that route. Shelley with an elbow. And pace has been slowed down considerably here. Shelley may have realized that Gory's the fastest man in this matchup, arguably.
So on top of hitting hard and being fast, machine guns are really smart too.
Oh, absolutely.
What a package.
Well, you can't get as far as they have without having quite a head on your shoulders, quite a bit of intelligence to go with the ability. They're very calculated. They're very strategic.
He's flexible too. Look how fast Sabin got that leg up there.
He is flexible as well. Maybe you could ask him about that later. Sabin.
Wait a minute. What are we going to see here?
Well, that's a good question.
Oh.
Huge knee strikes. Sabin getting aggressive here. Guns might be getting a little frustrated.
Gory's a tenacious little son of a gun, isn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Sabin up and over, down on the arm. Working on the left arm, that's going to create a lot of openings. And when you got guys like the machine guns who can come at you from any side, from any direction, all they need is one little opening. Shelley. Hard back suplex. Could this be all here? Didn't hook the leg, however. That's a big time mistake by Shelley. And a steam here with a quebrada. Very nicely done. Cover to endo. And Gory still fights out, still inching to get to the tag, even though Shelley's still right on top of him.
I think Shelley's going surfing, Joe.
It may be time. The crowd wants it. And Alex Shelley going to deliver?
Gory doesn't look like much of a swimmer to me. Oh!
Well, he's got a handful of nostrils.
Gory looks like one of those bearskin rugs. I mean, I'm not saying he's hairy, just the way Shelley has him so contorted and wound up. Look at that. Now look, open wide.
Shelley is a master of that, and now it's surfboard time, and it's sink or swim time for Jason Gory.
Uh-oh.
Sabin takes Shiima out of the equation. While Sabin here, head of steam, down with a bulldog.
What a head of steam that was.
Shoulders are down here. Another intricate cover by Shelley, but not enough.
Gory can't take much more of this.
Shelley has so many ways of trapping the body that so many people have never even seen before. And this may be one of them.
What the heck is
Just
this?
rolling Gory up into a ball. You've been in this position before.
Hey, I don't know about that.
I'm in the ring, in the ring.
But right now, Gory looks like you could fit him in your purse, Joe.
And Shelley with a little bit of disrespect there. Blowing his nose on Gory, wiping the proverbial dirt onto him, and it seems like frustration sinking in here for Alex Shelley as we have a near-fall situation, but Gory's still alive.
I know lots of girls would kill to have Shelley's boogers on them, and Gory's probably loving it.
I'm not going to ask about the circle you hang out with, sir. Crowd coming alive for Gory. Shelley does not seem too impressed.
I'm not gonna lie, I like how the machine guns don't really follow all the rules. Look at that.
Well, Gory's in the tree of woe, and that can only mean one thing. Double drop kick. Shelley, baseball slide. Watch the hang time. Save it flies with a hesitation drop kick. Gory is lifeless. And saved by Alex Shelley.
Total disrespect, and you've got to love it, Joe.
Well, I think they're upset they can't put this kid down. That's the bottom line. Shelley and Sabre, they're all over the world. They travel a lot. They see a lot of TNA guys, your Team 3Ds, your AJs, your Daniels, whoever. But that doesn't mean that Babyface Fire aren't every bit as good and tenacious just because they're not on national television. The Guns may have underestimated that, and they're finding that out firsthand. I think the Guns thought they'd be in the showers by now. Saban with a knee, elbow to Shiima.
That's about the third time Shiima's got caught off guard. You'd think he'd catch on by now. Wait a minute.
Well, Gory counters, sleeper hold. Shelley comes in with one. And Saban with a jawbreaker sacrificed his own partner to take Gory down.
See, on top of being smart, tough, and fast, they'll sacrifice each other just to get the W.
Shelley with a nice back kick right on target, second time. Now, if you go for that sliced bread, Gory counters, low blower, you can see the impact, you can see the stick fly on Alex Shelley, as this is down to a resilience game now. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody with more resilience at this point than Jason Gory.
Taking a huge beating from both of these guys, and he's ready to tag that fiery little Filipino, Shiima Xion.
Well, Saban's got him. Gory pushes him off.
He's still fighting to the very end.
Shiima Xion is in. Taking a chance. Missile drop kick. One leg for each gun. The atomic drop. Second time. Shiima Xion with a pair of clotheslines. Whipping out the ride, follow through with the elbow.
Wait a minute.
Springs off the top rope, right into a Hurricane Rana on Saban. Shiima Xion has been waiting for some 10 minutes to get in here, and he's making the most of it. Watch Saban, however. Shiima counters. Up and drives him down with a crystal pistol. This could be all. BFF win, 2.5. And a win over the Guns puts BFF right back in tag title contention.
And where would BFF go if they lose?
Go down the ladder. Machine Guns take their spot. Overhead belly-to-belly throw by Shelley.
Uh-oh.
Shelley measuring him. Gory didn't get all of it, but staggered Shiima. Fireman's carry, counter. Calls it for Saban, who came out of nowhere with a jumping back elbow. And Gory walked right into a double kick. The Guns are on fire here. And now they've got both members of Babyface Fire in trouble. And now Gory in the tree of woe. The Shiima trap. Another drop kick here. Oh. Ouch. Shelley goes low. Saban goes high. Both men connect. Gory gets dropped down. Kick combo here. Still on his feet somehow. Shiima miraculously came to his aid. That was Gory's only saving grace right there. Saban's down. Gory flies with Swanton. Bible blocked by Shiima. Cover, but Shelley with a save. Shelley up. Down with a brainbuster. And Shelley gonna try to follow through. Shelley taking a chance. Huge splash, but Shima's knees met him. And Gory with a drop kick takes care of Mr. Shelley. And if that didn't, the hero will. Gory
doesn't give a damn about his own body.
It's all about winning. It's all about IWC and the tag division and titles.
Gory wasn't hurt before, he's hurt now.
That leaves us down to Saban and Shiima. Saban jumping into Gory kick to Shiima Xion. Gory in. QAS for Saban. Gory couldn't hang on to Saban, and Shelley with a cross body, but right in to Lust Till Dust on Alex Shelley. And Gory, QAS again, no. Shelley counters. Drops him with a sunset driver. But Shiima with Bible Black. Back and forth here. Saban with a mule kick. Nobody's staying down. DeMarco, you're mesmerized.
I can't speak. I'm speechless, Joe.
Double team attempt. Oh, we've seen them put many men away with this on Spike TV. That neckbreaker combo. Oh no. This is gonna hurt. Double kick. Gory got dropped. Gory is lifeless. But I don't believe he's a legal man. Good call by Shelley. Sabin and Shiima still slugging it out. A hell of a tag team encounter here in the International Wrestling Cartel. Sabin met Shiima with a slap. Xion lost his balance. Shoulder thrust. Modified crystal pistol. Shiima Xion is now with the advantage. Shiima has Sabin. Shiima signaling high risk. Is it 6:30 time? Good Lord. That may have been a 7:20.
These guys are pulling out moves they haven't done in years here.
And there was no water in the pool. And Shiima is once again outnumbered. Up top, on the shoulders of Shelley, Sabin elevates himself. Look out. Can he get his footing?
Sabin's had so much taken out of him, he can't even stand.
Pistol drop kick. Sends Shiima for a loop.
They're not done yet. They're going to put the
Shelley.
point on this.
Air raid crash. Kryptonite crunch. Call it what you will. Shelley wins with it. A hell of an effort from both of these tag teams.
You really got to give credit to Babyface Fire as much as I don't like them. They really gave it their all here, and they took a hell of a beating, and they were in it till the end.
Absolutely right. Jason Gory survived so much punishment and so much pain, so much abuse. You can see the after effects. Gory may not know where he is, may not realize it, but he was just in the fight of his life here tonight. And they have nothing to be ashamed of. The Guns continue their reputation as the most cohesive unit in professional wrestling today. Machine Guns are victorious
Heavyweight champion for the second time, but it seems that he is on his way to other endeavors in the wrestling business.
Absolutely makes me sick. A man could not enjoy or like this guy right here. I don't even like to say his name because when I think of him, he makes me sick. He is not a man's man.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. But Shiima earned the World Heavyweight Championship.
Earned, definitely not.
Let's talk about his first reign. He survived a two-day, 16-man tournament, beat Jimmy DeMarco in the finals, but promoter Norm Connors decided that Shiima and DeMarco weren't worthy, quote-unquote, of competing in the main event picture. And ever since then...
Oh, yeah, real big.
Well, ever since then, we've seen Norm Connors pick and choose who he wants to represent his company, and certainly Ray Rowe will be at the top of that list. Ray Rowe struck Shiima Xion with a hammer to cost Shiima the championship back in the new beginning.
Look how cocky he is. Ray Rowe is very cool, calm, and collected. You can tell that Shiima is very scared. He's standing in the ring, scared. Don't for 1 minute think that that is cockiness or confidence. That is a scared man in the ring.
Well, Ray Rowe is an emotionless assassin. He is the baddest man in IWC.
And quite possibly the planet.
Very true. But Shiima Xion has never backed down from Ray Rowe before. I believe this would be their fourth meeting, and Shiima Xion has always taken it to Ray Rowe head on.
Well, let's think about it. If he doesn't, then he loses the title. He has to wrestle this man. He has to wrestle him. It's not that he wants to or that he's willing to. He has to, or he loses the title.
Well, that is true. Keep in mind, a month ago, Ray Rowe was given a gimme. He was given a bye.
There's no such thing as a gimme.
He defended his championship against Chest Flexor and won in about 3 minutes with a side headlock. What would you call that?
I call that sheer genius.
On somebody's
Ladies
part,
and gentlemen, I've just been informed by the challenger, Ray Rowe. Ray Rowe will not start the match. In fact, he will leave if you guys chant, Cleveland sucks, Cleveland sucks, Cleveland sucks, Cleveland sucks.
Cleveland does not suck.
You know that never works. Well, I don't think Ray Rowe leaving is going to do Ray Rowe any favors right now.
It's all head game. Shiima's going to turn his back and Ray Rowe's going to get him. Watch him.
Well, it could very well happen, but after the Ray Rowe Chest Flexor match a month ago, Jimmy DeMarco coerced Ray Rowe into having a championship match with Shiima Xion on the spot impromptu. Now, DeMarco,
and that was fair? And that was fair.
Some of those head games for you. DeMarco may have not had the authority, but either way, they had a verbal binding agreement for that matchup. The title change is valid, and there's nothing anybody can do about it.
But it seems to be fair because Shiima did it. See, this is the type of politics that you're talking about.
Shiima didn't instigate anything. Shiima's after a fair fight here, not get hit in the head with a hammer.
Fair fight?
That's what it was.
Who said anything about a hammer? A hammer was never into play.
All right, well, let's talk about that
Ray
match.
Rowe won the match fair and square.
Let's talk about that match last month.
Okay, we can talk about last month.
When there were 5 different individuals interfering on Ray Rowe's behalf.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Of course not.
That never happened.
There's a side headlock by Ray Rowe.
Yeah, proof?
I'm sure it's on videotape, thanks to our good friends at Digital Horizons at dhvideos.com. I'll talk to Tony F. I'll get it done.
There's no need for that. I can assure you that that never happened.
I'll take your word for it, then.
Yeah, take my word for it, dummy.
Rowe with a side headlock on Shiima Xion. And certainly, the problems with Shiima Xion and Norm Connors have escalated.
And look at that headlock.
It's a great headlock. He's won matches with that headlock.
I know, he's great.
But Shiima Xion is sick of the mistreatment. He's sick of the glass ceiling here. So he took his options elsewhere. Yes. I know you haven't been a victim of the glass ceiling. You're a tag champion.
Well,
but I think Shiima Xion...
That's probably because we're the best in the Midwest. And quite possibly in the East and the West as well.
I can't deny that arguably you're the best team in Ohio, possibly beyond. But certainly
beyond?
When it comes to IWC competition, you got the Gambinos, sexual harassment. Their history speaks for itself as well.
And like I said, there's no competition here.
Oh. Look at Shiima Xion trying to bridge his shoulders off the canvas to prevent the pinning combination. Great strength by Shiima, but Ray Rowe certainly with a decisive power advantage in this match. But Shiima with the agility. Oh! Rings up into the Hurricane Rana.
Did you see him pull his hair?
He did not. And check out.
Oh! He pulled his hair again!
Shiima flies with a drop kick.
He pulled his hair and distracted the man.
Who pulled whose hair?
Ray Rowe got his hair pulled.
Where? Wait a second, watch Shiima here.
Chin.
Baseball slide. Roll out of the way.
How smart was that?
And there you see the lethal strikes of Ray Rowe, but didn't last for long. Shiima with the baseball slide.
Hit the man from behind. How fair was that?
It's not illegal.
Of course it's not, because Shiima Xion's doing it.
And Shane Taylor might be doing something now.
He's not doing anything. He's helping Shiima, telling him that his boot's untied.
Cover, Coulter down for the count 2 end now.
Come on, count faster, ref.
And now, just like that, the momentary distraction of Shane Taylor, Ray Rowe's in control.
He was helping him out, and these referees make me sick.
But as I was touching on a moment ago, Shiima Xion has signed a contract for the AAA promotion in Mexico, and I believe this is the final night of Shima's IWC contractual commitments. So if Ray Rowe doesn't win tonight, what's going to happen to the championship? Shiima Xion has said, if Norm Connors wants it, we'll have to go to Mexico to get it.
That's really not that far away, especially since we have talent all over the world. We are friends with some of the most talented people, and trust me, we're not beyond and above calling in a favor.
Well, that doesn't surprise me either, but Ray Rowe
You make me feel uncomfortable.
Well, the feeling's mutual.
Yeah, I might slap you.
No, you don't need that. Ray Rowe.
I want you to start. I want you to start being more fair about the way you call things here.
I'm trying, sir.
Yeah, trying. You're so pro Shiima and so against Ray Rowe. How can you be against a man that is so talented?
Ray Rowe's a hell of a talent.
You're right, he is. Keep saying that.
And he would have, arguably, he would have had the championship by now if not for the help of Norm Connors.
Norm Connors did not help him one bit.
All right.
He just helped him break out of his shell.
Break out of his shell now.
Break out of his shell.
Well, I'll tell you what.
That's what Norm does.
It's a little bit frustrating. Wait, sunset flip. We have a cover, shoulders
He
down.
pulls the tights.
Rowe back up, measures with a huge clothesline. Excuse me. I understand. But it's a little frustrating to see somebody you've watched grow up since their first match, like I have for Shiima Xion, get shafted out of the championship by Norm Connors in almost a count of 3 in the ring.
And you know what really makes me sick? Think about this. Shiima Xion has the affection of all these fans, and all these fans hate Ray Rowe. So Ray Rowe is at a disadvantage because it's like the 6th man here with this audience. Just like it is in basketball and football and any other sport.
Right.
If you got the crowd support, you're more likely to do things and more likely to have that supercharge and you know what I'm talking about.
The extra burst of adrenaline.
That's it!
As we saw Shane Taylor get involved a moment ago, 2 count in the
ring. And how fair is that really? These fans are distracting Ray Rowe, trying to get into the head of Ray Rowe.
Well, I seem to remember a point in time when Ray Rowe was the most popular guy in the company until he made some questionable career choices.
Whatever. There's like, what, 1,500 people here tonight?
Sure.
So it's Ray Rowe versus 1,501 people, and you're against Ray Rowe. Obviously, that referee's against Ray Rowe. Everyone's against Ray Rowe. Ray Rowe has nobody watching his back.
I'll tell you what, Shane Taylor has the potential to do more damage at ringside than all 1,500 people in this building combined.
No. Shane is just there to make sure that no one jumps over the rail and come after Ray Rowe. He was there to help Shiima and explain to him that his shoe was untied, and Shiima didn't take his advice and try to help himself out.
Do you really believe what you're trying to sell us?
Yes, I believe in it. I wouldn't say it if it wasn't true.
Of course. Shiima Xion in trouble right now. He's fading fast. If that arm dropped the 3rd time, this match would have been over. But Shiima Xion has that second burst of adrenaline we talked about and is trying to will his way to his feet and get out of this Ray Rowe sleeper hold now. Shots with the elbow to create some distance. But Ray Rowe pulls Shiima back down.
He's a thinking man's wrestler.
Well, Ray Rowe is a very smart man, trained
Right,
extensively in amateur wrestling, mixed martial arts. He's without a doubt one of the most dangerous men in the world today. But Shiima Xion has the heart, has the resilience to get the job done. We've seen it before.
Yeah.
And we may see it right now.
No, we're not going to see it right now.
And if we do see it now, it's adios to Mexico IWC title.
That won't happen. It can't happen. Ray Rowe vowed to everyone he will get the title back.
You can see the facial expression on Ray Rowe begin to change. The intensity begins to heat up.
You see the frustration on Shiima's face? Look at the frustration. He's frustrated right now. Shiima's frustrated.
Shiima took his eye
yeah.
off the ball.
Yeah, you see that? You see that? Yeah, that's a man focused, didn't it? Took his eye off the prize.
He was caught in the moment. You're right. That was a mistake. And Ray Rowe more than smart enough to capitalize.
Need I say more? You just went ahead and said it for me.
But
Go ahead and just say Ray Rowe is quite possibly the greatest wrestler to ever live.
Well, if I go that far.
I would.
Especially now that the Night of Legends here. We're honoring past, present, and future.
And past, present, future, that would be Ray Rowe.
Well, Ray Rowe's sure as hell the present, and he's sure as hell going to be the future.
You're right,
for a long time to come. Rowe with a charge. Huge shot. Felt like half a clothesline, half an elbow.
I'm hoping that somebody in the top of these bleachers caught his head.
Cover, this could be y'all new champion, though, Shiima.
Come on, Ray.
Get the shoulder
Pull
up.
tights.
What?
What?
Excuse me?
I said hook the leg.
Oh.
Hook the leg.
Desperation maneuver by Shiima Xion as he continues to will himself on.
This is has been one great night, and it would top off this great night if Ray Rowe just got the title.
And that's very possible. But watch Shiima, a hair quicker, but Rowe saw it coming.
Trying to hit a man from behind, a man clotheslined him out of the ring.
Shiima took a hard spill on the outside. Again, that very thin protection, which is more to protect the floor than it is these athletes.
And look at these vultures. These vultures are standing up, cheering for Shiima.
Huge thrust kick by Shiima. Oh no. Shiima gonna risk his life. Look out! Corkscrew!
Oh!
And the new Cleveland Mafia is down and out. You want to talk about high risk?
Come on,
10
Ray.
minutes gone by in this title bout. 10 minutes.
Even though Shiima Xion has been soured on company management, that still shows how much these fans and that championship means to him.
Oh, what? Because he's willing to risk his life? Oh, that really shows a lot.
I think it does.
Whatever.
Shima's on top.
Come on, Ray. Turn around, Ray. Come on, Ray!
Hot missile drop kick. Shiima.
Come on, kick out.
He's on top. Shima's got her.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Come on, Ray. You're still in this.
We've seen so many times in the past the near superhuman amount of punishment Ray Rowe can withstand.
You're absolutely right, because he is a great man. I love how you just keep agreeing with everything I say about how great this man is and how he should have the title.
I will never discredit Ray Rowe's abilities. I don't think he should have the title. I don't think he should be playing politics.
He's not playing politics. He's a great wrestler.
Well, he's Norm's buddy for some reason. DDT, cover, hook in the leg. They go!
Oh, just a 2 count. Just a 2 count. Just a 2 count. Thank you, Lord. Just a 2 count.
Long 2, and you can see the desperation on the face of Shiima Xion.
It looks like he's about to start crying.
You can see the emotion.
Emotion, he's crying. He can't keep a man down. The stature of Ray Rowe.
Oh, God. Did you see how quickly Ray Rowe popped up?
Oh!
Belly to belly. Release superplex.
1,
Ray Rowe
2.
got the title.
Come on, Ray. Hook those tights.
When what?
What are you talking about?
When Ray Rowe can unleash a suplex, he is in his element. He is in his
Look
zone.
at him. He's getting that sadistic look in his face. He's going to inflict some pain.
I think it's time he's
Yes,
signaling
hit it.
for it.
Hit it.
Death Row.
Hit it. If you hit this, it's over, Ray.
I can't argue. Death Row coming up. Shiima rolls through. But send Shiima vaulting back.
I mean, I will give Shiima some credit.
Is this all? Is it over now?
I will give Shiima some credit. He can withstand a lot of punishment, a lot of pain, but he's just too small.
Well, we'll find out, won't we? Shima's overcome odds before.
Let's be honest. How much heart does Shiima Xion have?
All you got to do is look in the ring. He's
And
got
how
all the
much
heart
heart
in the
is
world.
that? How much heart does it take to win a title?
His body may give out before his heart does. Roll up out of the death row.
No! No!
Still a champion. Shiima Xion defied the odds and defied management once again.
Your winner and still
He cheated. He hooked the tights. Did you see him hook the tights? He hooked the tights.
Shiima Xion did it the old-fashioned way again.
By hooking the tights.
He earned it. The future of fashion is the present of the IWC title scene, and Ray Rowe and Shane Taylor and Dave Chris, for that matter, cannot believe it.
All this talk about heart, desire, determination, being the smallest guy in the county, blah, blah, blah. What does that really mean to a guy the stature of Ray Rowe? He obviously had the tights hooked. He cheated. Ray Rowe should have won this match.
You've been drinking the Norm Kool-Aid for too long. A man who left IWC as champion because he was upset with the business practices of the front office. But with Norm Connor's on his way out, turning over a new leaf and righting some wrongs apparently, this man is back, fresh from a tour of AAA in Mexico, and more brash and colorful and better than ever.
Well, I mean, mean, you can see the disrespect from Shiima Xion right off the bat. Look how he's wearing the world title. That is the most prestigious title in independent wrestling.
It is a very unique, very Shiima-esque fashion statement.
Well, I mean, let's face it, Shiima built himself as a male model for years here, and now he wants people to take him seriously as a heavyweight contender.
You know?
I'm not denying the man's ability. He's a very talented wrestler. However, again, as we've talked about all night, a recurring theme here is who would you rather represent your company? In my opinion, Fabulous John McChesney's been the heart and soul of IWC for years. One of those guys who, when you talk about IWC, you associate the Fabulous John McChesney.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening, set for one fall, a 60-minute time limit, and it is for the IWC Championship. Introducing to you first in the ring to my left, he is the challenger, and challenging for the first time ever, the IWC Championship. He weighs in at 215 pounds. He hails from Erie, Pennsylvania, and is a four-time Super Indy champion, Fabulous John McChesney. And his opponent, in the ring and to my right, returning today from a tour in Mexico, he is the two-time IWC champion, and Shiima Xion. Your referee is Stephen Coulter.
Certainly, you talk about representing IWC. For my money, Shiima Xion has done it better than almost anybody. Returning from Mexico at 6 o'clock this evening and immediately coming into this championship title defense. Not to mention the fact that right after this defense, almost immediately after it, Shiima Xion leaves because next week he's touring Japan.
Like I said, in my previous diatribe here, I would never take anything away, talent or ability, from Shiima Xion. And obviously he is now becoming world traveler and everybody is recognizing him, which he is an IWC homegrown competitor. It's just for my money, John McChesney has been not only worthy of that title, but lacking that title, should have had a chance at that title for years now. At least for the last year and a half.
Well, it was about a year ago when John McChesney told then heavyweight champion Dennis Gregory, there's one guy on the roster you haven't beaten yet, and that's me, John McChesney. And unfortunately for McChesney, Dennis Gregory, a month later, ended up being stripped of that championship. We had the tournament, and Shiima Xion rose to prominence, and John McChesney really never got that opportunity that he did rightfully deserve. But tonight, that night comes. It's a night over a year in the making for John McChesney, and one that has really come after 6+ years of hard work in IWC. So McChesney knows how valuable this opportunity is.
Absolutely. McChesney is, we talk about Shiima Xion being world travel. Let's not take anything away from John McChesney. McChesney's wrestled for almost every promotion on the Eastern Seaboard, including WWE. He obviously didn't fare too well against a 300-pound Samoan, who remained nameless, but he still has been looked at by every other promotion, yet chose to stick with IWC, hoping to get his shot at glory. And tonight, if he reaches up, quits pandering to these fans, and grabs the proverbial brass ring, if you will, I think we'll see a whole new chapter in McChesney's career.
We're very well covered. We followed McChesney for several months in the reemergence of the real John McChesney, the old John McChesney. McChesney that stands on his own and doesn't back down from a fight, as opposed to the War Machine lackey and flunky. And I think the only thing that's going to complete that return to greatness for John McChesney, that metamorphosis, is going to be one of our 2 singles championships. And certainly, at first we thought it might be the Super Indy Championship, but the Heavyweight Championship would do just as well. And keep in mind how McChesney was shafted out of the Super Indy Championship at Super Indy 8. He had won a seed into that tournament in that 3-way matchup with Colt Cabana and Super Hentai. I believe he won the number 2 seed. However, Dennis Gregory out of the crowd after he'd already quit the company injured John McChesney's knee and left McChesney unable to compete in the rest of the tournament. Had to have been a heartbreaker for the Fabulous One.
Absolutely. And one of those things that you have to look at when you talk about which division you think John McChesney should really take a run at. While he has the size to go Super Indy, while he has the repertoire, if you will, to go Super Indy, the heavyweight title is where John's heart is. John has faced adversity throughout his entire career. He's never been the biggest dog in the fight, just the one with the most heart. And we're seeing a fantastic exchange here as these two are very evenly matched. Size, speed, ability. See, this is what...
Well, Shiima knows that McChesney is going to out-chop Shiima Xion in any situation. Shiima tried to put the brakes on, didn't work. And there you see the John McChesney of old, the expert vertical leap, the pinpoint precision of the drop kick. And Shiima Xion looking for refuge, but not getting much of it. Springboard, back into the ring.
Well, those chops from McChesney, he throws them better than anybody in the business.
Shiima to the outside.
Actually, I believe back in September, we actually saw Ray Rowe and McChesney chop each other until both were bleeding from the chest. Hamburger meat, if you will.
Shiima in the front row as a result of that baseball slide. McChesney making the most of this opportunity in the early going, to say the least.
McChesney throwing Xion back into ringside now. Back over the guardrail into the front row.
And we're seeing the killer instinct of John McChesney. We're seeing intensity on John McChesney. He's not going to waste this opportunity. He's not going to waste any time.
Hard chop echoing through the Courtime Sports Center.
And if I were any of these fans, I would scatter.
We see Stephen Coulter also letting this match go, not in the ring counting, knowing how important this little title shot is to John.
We need a definitive conclusion, and McChesney fires with a toe bearing. A suicide dive into the crowd, into Shiima, into the floor. And that is the John McChesney of old. That is the John McChesney that captured 4 Super Indy championships.
It absolutely is. John McChesney risking life and limb for the only thing that matters to him right now, which is the IWC World title.
A first opportunity in 6 years for the Fabulous One.
McChesney on his feet now, pulling Shiima Xion up by the hair.
And just imagine how much that took out of Shiima. Favoring the back heavily. You can see him wincing in pain right now. And John McChesney, Northern Light suplex, beautiful back bridge. This could be all now.
5 minutes gone by, 5 minutes.
And McChesney pulling it all stopped. Now has to regroup here. He has Shiima in a compromising position. Back suplex coming up. Shiima puts the brakes on, lands on his feet. Crisscross action. Shiima with some pinpoint precision of his own with a Hurricane Rana. Nicely done. Follow through elbow.
McChesney slowing the pace down there with a kick right to the knee.
Cover to end. No, McChesney and Shiima continue to attempt to stay one step ahead of each other, and we have a lightning fast heavyweight championship matchup, perhaps the fastest we've ever seen so far in this match. With McChesney neutralizing Shiima Xion, grounding the flyer, knows he needs another game plan. He needs more offense to take the champion down.
Absolutely. McChesney right now wrenching back on the bow and arrow, the submission here, trying to slow the adrenaline and the pace down a little bit. Float through into a full Nelson. Half slam there.
You got to cover here, 2-1. No, keep in mind, Shiima Xion has overcome Ray Rowe on a number of occasions. Shiima Xion can survive pain and punishment to the utmost degree. We saw him survive the heavyweight championship tournament, 16 men in one weekend. And Shiima Xion has never backed down, never quit. He's taken the championship to Mexico. And certainly with the competition, the level of John McChesney here, Shiima Xion is in his element, but you could say the same thing for the Fabulous One. And now, high risk, gonna take a chance. And McChesney crotched in a very awkward position. And Shiima with a drop kick and fabulous one hits the outside again.
Both of these men poured heart and soul out right now for the IWC Heavyweight Championship. But you can see it right now as both men struggling just to get to their feet, let alone get an advantage in this matchup.
Official is at 3. Of course, if there is a countout, Shiima Xion retains the championship. But I cannot picture John McChesney's 6-year odyssey ending in a countout, if at all possible. Coulter's at 8. McChesney is close. Can he make it in? Shiima grabs onto McChesney. That effectively breaks the count. I think Shiima wants to win this thing center of the ring, but so does McChesney, and he almost did. And Shiima with a reversal, shoulders down.
That's with a super kick there into a float over. Serious and near fall, and there's the super kick from McChesney. That could be it.
It's the cover. This is 2.5. The champion escapes. McChesney.
Short as McChesney
lost to dust, countered. Shiima Xion was going for everything there. A count and down into the face eraser, the hostile makeover, and it was almost a count of 3. And Shiima Xion grabbing onto his newfound locks in frustration that was not all.
Shiima trying to get the split audience behind us. It's half the audience is behind Shiima, half is behind Fat.
Nor can you blame them. It's so tough to pick a favor here. These fans have watched both of these men's journeys to this point for many, many years. McChesney gets the feet up right between the eyes of Shiima Xion. The elbow connects.
Shiima now climbing up here. Looking for a top rope Hurricane Rana possibly.
McChesney. Oh, wait a second. Shiima's in the tree of woe. I'm having a little bit of flashbacks here to Super Indies gone by, and the McChesney matches gone by. John McChesney went for the low-key double stomp that low-key used on McChesney on a number of occasions. Counter into the lust to dust, from lust to dust to champion. No!
McChesney
10 minutes gone by, 10 minutes.
Somehow kicked out of that after trying to finish it and put him away, quite frankly, numerous times.
McChesney digging deep into something that he knows firsthand is very effective, but it wasn't enough to stop Shiima Xion.
And if you think back, actually, that was McChesney's first title match.
Corkscrew, nobody home.
Only other title match against Loki.
The super kick connects. Shiima missed the 720 splash, and that could be the opening that John McChesney needs. The electric chair driver coming up, but Shiima counters. A roll-up. What? A pull of the tights? What? I didn't expect that, but regardless, Shiima, I guess it worked. It got him a victory.
I can't fault Shiima. I've said numerous times, do what you must to win.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this bout, and still the IWC champion, Shiima Xion.
Well, Shiima wins, but McChesney, he could feel his tights being pulled. He was telling Coulter about it a moment ago, and John McChesney has a gripe here. And McChesney, understandably frustrated.
Why you pull my tights? You ain't like that. I pull your tights. Did he pull it?
A match of respect has taken a new tone.
Ow! And it's slapping the taste out of Shiima Xion's mouth.
And again, you can't really fault McChesney for being upset here. And we got big problems coming down the ramp right now. Rowe just took out McChesney. And Rowe and Shiima have history.
These two have fought numerous times over the world title. Staring down here, is Rowe going to take out Xion as well?
This could be a big time collision here. What? Whoa, wait Wait a second. What is this about?
Shiima Xion has apparently just aligned
Wait a
himself.
second. Shiima spent months fighting off Ray Rowe for the IWC name. Shiima was one of the ones persecuted against by Ray Rowe and by the front office.
Now, let me make one thing perfectly clear. It was not Norm Connors who put that bounty on Jimmy DeMarco.
What?
It was me.
What?
You know what my problem is? For years, I let each and every one of you people think that I was just like you. But the truth is, after 6 weeks in Mexico, I realized I'm nothing like you. I'm an international superstar. A wrestling star in Mexico. A supermodel extraordinaire. I'm nothing like you. Jimmy DeMarco, he is like each and every one of you. And I can't stand that. I can't stand that. Because for months, I've been getting my ass kicked each and every month. Ray Rowe, Ricky Reyes, Norm Connors, everybody turns their backs on me. And what do you people do? You cheer Jimmy DeMarco. You cheer Jimmy DeMarco while I'm laying, barely standing, blood, everything. And you people would rather cheer a goofball like Jimmy DeMarco than a world-class athlete like Shiima Xion.
Where does come over Shiima Xion?
I have to completely agree. Shiima Xion is oppressing me right now.
Yeah, champ boy. Ray already put him out. And now we're going to take out McChesney.
Well, that's unfortunately true. Jimmy may never be the same again, and John McChesney added to that list. Overhead with a T-bone. Shiima Xion put the bounty on DeMarco. Oh no.
And here comes the rest of the troop.
Here come the chosen ones. I guess Shima's taken over where the predecessors left off. Shima's got the agenda now. And we got a ton of help coming out here. Jason Gory, Justin Idol, the Gambino. And we got a hell of a fight. It's gang warfare. At IWC, no excuses 5. It's exploded. Shiima Xion, who was on the front line for so long, the latest to turn his back. And the IWC loyalists are out here to help, and they're not done yet. We got more out here. Michael Facade, Gregory Iron, newcomers taking up the fight.
And the chosen ones here definitely outnumbered.
I'm not sure what the odds are right now, but certainly they're not in anybody's favor. This is chaos.
What the chosen ones are doing right now, though, is they are keeping everyone out of the ring as Ray Rowe and Shiima Xion destroy, limb from limb, pick apart the fabulous John McChesney.
That's absolutely true. Shiima once fought so valiantly for that championship, but now it's about selfishness and ego.
But what must be going through his mind?
Well, you have to believe. You have to believe that if he's not thinking about the mind game, then he has to wonder just what is it going to take to top not just Shiima Xion, but Shiima Xion's entourage, Shiima Xion's cabal of evil that he has aligned himself with. And let me state something. I have no problem with the cabal of evil. I think it's a great move on Shiima's part. You want to hold on to that belt, you don't be the front line. You make sure you have some guns. But tonight, Shiima gets to show that he doesn't need any of it. Shiima gets to show that Jimmy DeMarco and all of these sycophant fans are wrong. That Shiima Xion, just as much as Jimmy DeMarco, is no joke. Shiima Xion has put the work in, done the tape watching, the travel, all the matches, and it all pays off to show that he might be the best wrestler to ever come and bloom out of IWC.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the participants. First, already in the ring to my right. He hails from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Weighs in at 208 pounds. He is the challenger. He is the
every sense of the word.
His opponent is seconded by Ray Rowe.
And that's a problem.
From the Philippines, weighing at 198 pounds, he is the IWC World Heavyweight Champion, Shiima Xion. Your referee is Bobby Williams.
And there you see the stare down. A moment ago, I alluded to what this is about for Jimmy DeMarco, as we see former best friends lock an icy cold glare on one another. For Shiima Xion, in my eyes, as we see the prize, that's what's it about at the end of the day. But in Shima's mind, it's all about insecurity. Shiima holds that championship. That means he's the best in the company, unequivocally. But the jealousy, the insecurity over being not as popular as Jimmy DeMarco drove him, consumed him far enough to end a 6-year-long best friendship with Jimmy DeMarco, and these are the results.
And let's not overlook this. It is the end of a friendship. There is no repair on this. These two gentlemen hate each other with a hatred that I cannot even begin to describe. That adds a whole nother level to what is going on in this ring. Look at this.
I've said it many times over the past few months. The ones you love are the ones that can hurt you the most. And that's what we're seeing tonight with Jimmy DeMarco and Shiima Xion. Once inseparable, but now the personal animosity is overflowing. And as you can see, it has already spilled out of the ring in the early moments of this, the most important contest in each man's career.
We are looking at two men who definitely know how to technically wrestle. Lord knows we have watched Shiima Xion perform technical feat upon technical feat. I don't expect to see that. I wasn't expecting that in the beginning of this match. I think anyone who was is in for a mistake. All of this anger has built up, and it needs to release in a couple good haymakers before we actually see any wrestling, if we see any wrestling.
And we got to watch Ray Rowe out here, who should not be at ringside, one of Shima's chosen ones here. I believe he caused a distraction with Jimmy DeMarco. Keep in mind, Rowe has literally beaten DeMarco into unconsciousness in the past. Rowe, it's very unsettling to see him out at ringside here. But watch Shiima now get a charge, but DeMarco able to counter.
Well, let's be honest, Ray Rowe beats people into unconsciousness almost as a hobby. Honestly, Jimmy DeMarco should consider himself thankful that he made it to this match.
And Shiima, much like we saw a night ago, backing off from a face-to-face confrontation. Oh, look at that. Shiima knows how dangerous DeMarco is, knows how DeMarco can get, knows how DeMarco competes. And that's exactly why the emotionless assassin is out at ringside. The distraction again, but DeMarco had it scouted. Oh, okay. Oh no. And that could be a game changer.
Right there, that absolutely is. Have you ever hit your head off one of those guardrails?
Unfortunately for me, I have not.
I can tell you, it hurts.
I'll tell you this. Jimmy DeMarco hit his head off that guardrail 14 months ago in the initial matchup. And wait a second. Oh, DeMarco wants some of Rowe.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Bobby Williams has ejected Jimmy DeMarco, has ejected Ray Rowe from ringside.
Super kick. And that was all Shiima needed. The opportunistic Xion capitalized on the distraction, and DeMarco not only ate a boot, but landed hard on that solid steel ramp.
Honestly, a smart move by Shiima. He knew he only had so much time left with the distraction that Ray Rowe provides. He was able to capitalize on it in the end after all those missed opportunities.
But as I was saying, 14 months ago, DeMarco was busted wide open on one of these guardrails in a matchup that took so much physically and emotionally out of both these athletes in the finals of our title tournament. But all that blood, all that violence was when they weren't on bad terms. Now, the personal animosity is there in addition to professionally. And now Shiima Xion is not just out to beat Jimmy DeMarco, but to eliminate Jimmy DeMarco.
Shiima Xion has built what my friends and I refer to as a wacky contraption out here. I am a little bit worried. It looks like we have a mess of chairs.
Oh no.
4 folding chairs set up.
This could have deadly tendencies here, especially with Shiima on the top rope. And thank God DeMarco's gotten up.
Oh my God!
What the hell? No.
Oh, he has a hawk. No.
Look out! Good Lord! DeMarco
DeMarco eats the steel, open chairs that have no give to it whatsoever. And the human spine will crack before steel will. And you can see, again, the bend on those objects.
And we have seen Jimmy DeMarco take steel chairs to the back before. This is not a new injury. And Shiima had to have known.
Oh, wait a second. Jimmy's favoring the shoulder. He could have a separated shoulder, torn rotator cuff. He could have a lot of damage right now. This could be very bad.
And Shiima playing the mind games, just sitting on a chair in the ring, waiting for Jimmy DeMarco to... Oh!
Those chairs were obliterated, and they are constructed to hold several hundred pounds.
And he just took a drop kick chair right into the head.
5 minutes.
And now Shiima's in his element. All the spotlight's on him. Everybody's looking at him. Take out the hero of IWC. The ironic hero, but a hero nonetheless. And Shiima Xion sends DeMarco back in. And Jimmy's dazed. Jimmy DeMarco's dazed. A missile drop kick. Beautiful precision, beautiful technique, and yeah, he's good. He's damn good. He may be the best. But showboating in an environment like this may be a big-time mistake because you can never count out Jimmy DeMarco.
But let's not forget, Shiima is showboating specifically to show the crowd that he is the best thing to have ever grown out of IWC. Not just come from IWC, but start in IWC and work their way up. The crowd has chosen Jimmy DeMarco, and that anger,
hell of a clothesline,
is what fuels Shiima Xion.
DeMarco was spiked. And you're absolutely right, Jay Worth. And now, a little bit old school here by Shiima Xion. That's all he wants. That domination over DeMarco. That's all he cares about. He can't hold friends. Jason Gory hates him now. DeMarco hates him now. All his prior allies are gone. Shiima Xion is a man alone, except for the chosen ones he's hired as his mutual beneficiaries. But DeMarco will still fight. Keep in mind, he survived Ray Rowe. He survived Necro Butcher. He survived his own damn family trying to kill him. He will not back down.
This anger that I talk about between them that fuels Shiima Xion at the same time is the reserve for Jimmy DeMarco. Every time we see him take, let's say, a steel ring post to the head, it is this anger that makes him get back up.
Look out! Shiima face first on the steel. And again, with the insecurity and the pompousness of Xion, that is a physical and a psychological blow.
And Shiima is maybe out on Dream Street. His forehead square into that ramp. And that ramp, I swear, weighs 2 tons. Have you ever tried to lift that ramp?
I have. I haven't been very successful.
2 tons, maybe 2.5.
Shiima Xion posed to turn this matchup more so in the favor of Jimmy DeMarco by involving the ramp, involving weapons.
Oh, he's hung up.
He is. And a crossface. A vertical crossface, but it's in the ropes, therefore it is illegal.
Oh, it's not illegal till 5, Jeff.
And I don't think Shiima would mind a disqualification here because he can get out of Dodge with his health and his championship for the time being.
Oh, I think he'd take it. I don't think he wants it. I think he wants to prove once and for all he is better than Jimmy DeMarco.
Well, we've seen these two lash out at each other online on some YouTube videos on IndyWrestling.us, and the raw emotion in each of their voices shows you what this means and shows you how long this has been building. And Shiima Xion may be ready to finish it off and prove his point. Frog splash, beautifully done. Lateral pass for 2.5.
Oh, and I was talking about technical wrestling. That was a textbook 5-star frog splash. Shades of Rob Van Dam, shades of Eddie Guerrero. Hell, I'd even go better than Art Barr. That was perfect.
Similar form, similar height, similar execution and impact as well. But Shiima has another one of these mangled, deformed chairs.
You get the idea that Shiima walked into this with a game plan.
He indeed did. Well, former best friends. Not a lot of people really know the psychological makeup of Jimmy DeMarco, but if anybody does, it's Shiima.
That's true. Well, Shiima and the state parole board. So
Jimmy puts the brakes on, elevated Shiima, and Shiima face first, and the chair hit him once going in and once coming down.
And Jimmy's enjoying that.
the spine buster. DeMarco is feeling it. What DeMarco has worked for 6 years may be about ready to come to fruition.
And he has a good grip on that wonderful mane of hair on Shiima Xion. I'm glad to see that back.
DeMarco puts on the brakes. Elevated, but Shiima, look out. And DeMarco sends Shiima right into the steel. I believe that's shades of their matchup in the title tournament when we saw DeMarco hit.
Shiima on the floor.
And Jimmy, still being Jimmy, but make no mistake about it, he has tunnel vision right now on the prize. And now Shiima eats the steel, but returns the favor for DeMarco.
So let me ask you.
Oh, wait a second. This is what sliced open Jimmy 14 months ago. We got to keep our eye on both these men's physical state.
What do you think is driving?
On by 10 minutes.
Thank you, Chuck. What do you think is driving Jimmy more? The lust to have that title and prove that he's the best, or the lust to prove to Shiima Xion that he's better than him?
It may be a wash at this point, I'm not sure. Jimmy's got a lot of pride, and he doesn't show it a lot.
But it's there. It's definitely there.
Without a doubt.
Shiima went somewhere. He looks horizontal at the moment.
If I was anybody back there, I'd run for cover. Oh, God. Shiima's busted.
Oh, yeah.
Jimmy, thank God, looks to be intact. Oh, God. They're on these solid steel bleachers. Oh, no.
Oh, Shiima goes behind.
This will not end well.
No, no, no.
No! DeMarco's head and his spine bounced off of steel again.
I swear to God, that bleacher bent. And Bobby Williams is checking.
If you're Bobby Williams, all you can do right now is count the bodies.
Call for a mop.
But knowing Jimmy DeMarco,
Shiima's up.
Jimmy may not be able to move tomorrow, but damn it, he will not quit.
There is a snarl on Jimmy's face. You can tell how much this hurts.
Look at the look on Shiima's face as well. The faces tell the story here. Both men know what they're in for. And Jimmy DeMarco, thank God he's still moving, but not very quickly. Shiima, top rope. DeMarco sidesteps.
Had the wherewithal to get out of the way.
Textbook suplex by the Delicious One. Doesn't go for the float over. Goes for the powerbomb. Then the pin for near fall. And DeMarco, you can see on his face, he wanted so badly for that to be over, to finally prove his point, but it was not to be yet.
Oh, and Shiima behind.
Shiima hangs onto the rope, and the kick.
Number 2.
Crucifix driver, pin, 2.5 again, and back into the crossface. And this will stretch, it will tear at your neck and your shoulder. It will leave half of your upper body completely immobile.
And if you've ever taken a pop to the nose, you know how bad it hurts to have anyone touch it, much less put their fist into it and yank back on it.
And that'll tear up the eyes too, that'll cut off his vision.
Oh! He reversed it.
And there you see the technique of DeMarco. We don't give him credit for it. It's sometimes overshadowed, but it's damn sure there.
And I'm pretty sure Shiima has a bloody mouth at this point. Oh, the roll through. Back in.
And there you see again, they know each other so well, and they know what they have to do to the other to get the job done. This is a very dangerous hold. It has won championships. It has ended careers.
It has ruined necks.
And we may be seeing an example of that last statement right now.
And Jimmy, a ring presence, gets to that back rope.
Very well done by Jimmy DeMarco.
And Shiima smart, holding on for that 5 count.
That's right, 4 and change. It's not a DQ until 5. And Shiima, now that's a mistake. Having words with the official, and it gave Jimmy a chance. Oh! Bobby Williams is gone.
And Jimmy's up.
And the
Jimmy's up.
C4! New champion!
Cookie cutter, count it. Oh!
Wait, look at that! That's Maverick! Shiima's original photographer and advisor. What? We haven't
seen a foot right to the face.
We haven't seen him in over a year. Many months.
But again, there's no one to count.
Wait a second. well.
And again, a cover, but no count. We have Bryce. Bryce is here.
Bryce Remsburg. Jimmy cover. The 2. No.
And Vendetta, when throwing Maverick out, threw him into Bryce. And that may have provided Shiima the actual time to snap out.
A 27-year dream for Jimmy DeMarco is down to these closing seconds. But Shiima escapes.
He went to float up and grab the head, and Shiima kicked him square in the back, and that's kick, what, 5?
Lost to dust. It's done. Shiima's done it. I don't know how. No!
Jimmy DeMarco will not quit. I swear to God, you're going to have to kill him.
And Shiima can't believe it.
And I swear to God, Shiima's willing to kill him, if that's what it takes.
If it proves the point, if it gets the spotlight on Shiima, by God, he'll do it. Now,
he's up.
A counter.
Shiima keeps trying, and Jimmy keeps getting up.
C4, a super. C4, a super. C4, 2. No!
The audience on their feet.
You want to talk about sacrifice. You want to talk about a dream. You want to talk about pride. You want to talk about pain threshold. You want to talk about the 2 best young damn athletes in this country right now. You've got it in the ring.
Right now, they both have to be asking themselves, what does it take?
And the question here is who can push themselves farther?
I think equally the question is who can continue to take it?
They can barely stand, but they're still hitting each other.
No, no, no!
Look out! Baseball slide. Shiima connects.
Shiima turns 180 degrees in the air and hits a drop kick baseball slide between the first and second ropes. A drop kick suicida?
And the official's calling for some help here. And not sure what's happened here. Jimmy may be hurt. Jimmy, I believe, hit the guardrail hard. And Gory and Shiima having words now. Jimmy, he has a history of head injuries. He's not going into this match 100%. He was. I don't think he wants to.
Where the hell is Shiima going?
Do it. What the hell are you doing? No! Don't do that! What the hell? What the hell? Shiima doesn't care anymore.
Shiima will come back here and super kick you and I if that's what it means to get the title.
Jimmy DeMarco may have his career in serious jeopardy, and Shiima doesn't give a damn. It's all about him. It's his moment here, in his mind.
Hey, no one else is looking out for Shiima.
And now he's going to talk. Now what? This is far beyond out of control.
We have Chuck checking on Jimmy.
He left the building. There's obviously no more referees to count this match out. Chuck Roberts, hey, Jimmy DeMarco, he's dead. He can't continue this match.
Oh, come on.
So what I want right now, Chuck Roberts, I want you to get in the ring, give me my belt, and announce me as the winner and still IWC World Heavyweight Champion.
Well, I want to say that's a bit presumptuous. I want to say never count out Jimmy DeMarco, but after that scare with the guardrail, I'm not so sure.
Come on.
Well, where else is this match going to go? I mean, you have to call it either he wins or it's a no contest. Either way.
Jimmy's a hell of a man, but he's still just a man, and he does have his breaking point.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner is not you. You're just a regular athlete. Who the hell do you think you are? You know who the hell I am? Here's the deal, pal. When Norm Connors walked out of this building and wasn't your boss, I became your boss. I own this company.
What?
Official, and this match isn't over.
Chuck Roberts is in charge, and Shiima is irate. Roll up. Chuck's in charge. He's the new boss. Near fall. It still wasn't enough. Every referee is down.
Oh my God, I have a lot of sucking up to do.
The crossface
applied.
crowd is ecstatic.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner and new IWC champion, delicious DeMarco.
And now is crunch time. All three of these men have been through so much here tonight, but the toughest road is yet to be traveled. 3 men, 1 ring, 1 championship belt. Shiima Xion could be a Triple Crown champion. I can only think of Colt Cabana, Sterling James Keenan, who have won 2 championships, both singles championships. Imagine all 3. I'm not sure if anybody's done that.
Yeah, I was going through my records. As far as I can tell, no one's hit the Triple Crown yet here in IWC.
The good guy Azrieal, the East Coast standout, has had a career resurgence here in just one night. After an absence from IWC for over 2 years, Azrieal finds himself in the main event and potentially 2 falls away from the Super Indy Championship. Azrieal will have a definitive spot on this roster if he's successful one more time. Gargano's had so much taken out of him all night long. The whole shebang has made a major name for himself throughout this country in many top organizations. But the Super Indy title has eluded him for over a year now. Gargano could culminate that journey in this matchup. But what do any of these 3 men have left in their system?
Yeah, I gotta say, I think that I'd say the odds favor Azrieal just a little bit. He had a real competitive match earlier, but he also had a real short match at the beginning of the show, whereas Shiima had to go through 2 really tough matches, and Gargano went through hell.
Well, Azrieal trying to steal the belt already, that's not gonna work.
I don't know. It's worth a shot.
Shiima admiring himself.
And you know, now that I think about it, it has worked once before. People versus Sterling James Keenan.
Shiima Xion, Azrieal, Johnny Gargano, looking at the prize. One of these men will have their name attached to that championship before the end of this matchup. You may have to give a slight advantage to Azrieal here, as has been touched upon, based on him really not only winning by default in the first round. Shiima and Gargano went through hell.
Okay, let's put it on the line right now. This begins. Who do you see taking it?
Got to go with Azrieal. Has the advantage, has the momentum, has the motivation to get back into the company.
I'm also going to go with Azrieal, but Johnny Gargano, so much drive in that young man. I really think he could also be the winner.
And here's where you're both insane. Clearly, Shiima Xion, as is showing right now, well, was showing right now, clearly the odds-on favorite to take this.
Oh, that was a fantastic counter right there in the backslide. Big diamond cutter.
Shiima has wanted this title more than the other 2 combined. It's going to be his drive and desire that takes him to the end.
Very debatable.
Now that I think about it, makes him would make him the first Triple Crown winner.
Watch Azrieal. Tope to the outside, the suicide. God, no one can question that Shiima has been fighting for the championship longer. But as far as who wants it more, it's really difficult to figure out. Adversity introduces a man to himself. Whoever wants it more will be the last man standing.
And Shiima Xion, no slouch in this tournament. 2 very hard-fought matches, 2 dominating victories. Oh, that was a dominating dropkick right to his mush.
Shiima overcame the 2 Chikara standouts. Azrieal overcame the Super Indy Innovator and the Extreme Underdog. Gargano survived Logan, Shulo, and also survived the Prince. All 3 of these men had a rough road to get to this level. Watch Azrieal.
Azrieal is looking absolutely awesome so far in this match. 2 count only.
The smart strategy here is going to have to be to blend into the background. It may not be the most offensive strategy, and Gargano, whether it's by choice and will or by necessity, is doing that right now by not being in the ring. If you can make yourself disappear until the first fall, that increases your odds.
He's actually using Larry Sweeney's strategy. Let them beat each other up, and you get a breather outside.
Well, hey, Sweeney's not a former two-time Super Indy champion for nothing. He's very calculated, very resourceful, very cerebral athlete.
And we're seeing Gargano get up.
As went for that double stomp to the head.
Try to get one of them out of there early.
Oh! Double super kick!
Goodbye. Azrieal has been taken out of the equation momentarily. Shiima Xion.
Another super kick.
Johnny Gargano.
Third super kick.
Big insecurity.
Bottom line is all three men want an advantage right now, but nobody's getting one. And then you see that hostile makeover. Drops Azrieal face first. Uniquely, you could have an early elimination.
Both finishes. That gotta be it.
Now what? It was, but notice Shiima. Gargano could have had that pinfall, but Shiima slipped in the back door because he wants to be the guy to eliminate Azrieal.
Because he wants it, which is what I said.
Ladies and gentlemen, Azrieal is eliminated.
When you're hungry, you don't care where the steak's sitting. You go and you take it. You don't have that killer instinct, Joe. You don't understand.
That momentary few seconds could have cost him the fall. It's all about Shima's ego.
It's not. Yes, it's Shima's ego that is driving him to the belt.
But let's give it up for Azrieal. A tremendous performance here, advancing all the way to the finals in this unique three-way matchup. Azrieal, I think, has earned the respect of everybody here and a future look by IWC management.
Absolutely. Everyone here respects him. We respect him. Gargamel respects him. But now it comes down to those two in the ring.
This right here is the future of wrestling, in my opinion. Shiima Xion, Johnny Gargano. It is on. Big forearm.
I believe Gargano's 22 and Shima's 23. The youth movement of IWC on display for the Super Indy title. Uniquely you, countered.
Both men very...
Gargano with that mid-move adjustment. Out-quickening Shiima.
Unbelievable.
And the mid-ring collision. One man can regain this championship, or one man will gain it for the very first time.
Each guy knows the other guy's moves. They know their strengths. They know their weaknesses. And right there, we got a double clothesline, and now it's all about who can get to their feet first. And of course, they're both to their feet at the same time.
Exchange of knife head chops as once again, neither man is backing down. The past near 3 hours of work leads to this. Months of training lead to this. The first mistake could be the end.
Finley roll, countered.
And there's that crossface we touched on earlier. Shiima has been perfecting a crossface, which will tear at the neck, the shoulder, the arm, the entire upper body of Gargano is screaming in pain right now. Gargano may have to tap away the Super Indy title.
Oh, I thought that was it.
I noticed that the left arm of Gargano trapped in the crossface.
And what a vicious crossface that is. The power of Shiima Xion. All that time in the gym, all those curls right there.
Shiima risking disqualification there, 4.9 and then some before the break in the row.
Smart wrestling, taking advantage of those rules. He's got till 5.
Shiima, look out! Gargano baited him in. The spear, oh, pass for 2.
Big time Superman spear from Johnny Gargano.
And Shiima, smart, getting to the outside. Getting a chance to catch his breath after that shot to the midsection.
Absolutely true. But Gargano staying on his man. And we saw this exchange a bit earlier on in the tournament. Didn't end well for either of those athletes. Who will come out in the winning hand here? Oh, Gargano slips through the legs, and Shiima hits face first, where metal meets wood on that ring apron.
Went for that rope assisted clothesline. Shiima scouted that one.
Look out. Oh! And Gargano got dropped.
Brainbuster on the ring apron.
Head first, and that's not going to do Gargano any favors. And the landing on the floor was just as awkward.
Not a lot of drop on it, but it put him to... He already had his neck bent down. And,
An elevated crystal pistol. You're right, it wasn't a lot of drop, but it was sure as hell a lot of drive.
Slingshot from the inside of the ring, outside with that pistol.
And that planted Gargano face first again into this covered but not protected floor.
And that's 2 rough shots to the head and neck.
Yeah, that's an unforgiving ring apron. That is the hardest part of the ring, according to many people I've talked with.
Gargano's got to be out of it. This has got to be it. Shiima Xion, Triple Crown. I cannot believe Gargano, through whatever instinct or resourcefulness he may have, was able to survive.
I can't believe that these idiots would applaud someone from Cleveland over Steel City's own Shiima Xion.
Oh, Shima's not from Pittsburgh, he's Filipino. Get out of here.
But he is Pittsburgh's own.
Oh, the knees in the corner. And Gargano in a catapult. No, Shiima counts. Lost to dust. Lost to dust.
Oh, that's got to be it.
Shiima, can he have them? Now again.
2 count only.
And look at that again. The facial expression. The eyes are the window to the soul. And right now, Shima's eyes are nothing but shock.
Again, drop down onto his head. How many more shots like this can Johnny Gargano take?
We may have already surpassed that number. Gargano may not be healthy for weeks, but he's still fighting because that's what the Super Indy title means.
Good hard shot to the gut. Oh.
Gargano tried to. Oh no. Look out! Oh my God. Face first, ring post, done.
Oh my God.
Just a spear toss right into steel.
Forget the cosmetics, forget the model looks, forget the face. That can end this in a heartbeat.
I gotta say, we all know that Johnny Gargano has a vicious streak in him. We've seen it. I didn't think we'd see him pulling it out tonight. I'm impressed. I am impressed.
Yeah, that vicious streak certainly on display right there. That's one of the sickest things I've ever seen. He's got to roll him into the ring away from the ropes and try to get the pinfall right now.
And that's how bad he wants this. Gargano's been on the defensive for so long. Is this enough? No. Shiima, credit to him. The Super Indy Championship means money, means spotlight, means matches, means international tours. And that's what Shiima wants from this. He wants to once again be recognized as one of the best, and again, vaulted face first. Gargano can barely stand, but he will fight.
Unique. He's beaten men with this earlier in the tournament.
That's done. No.
An impressive hook with those legs, getting the weight right over Shima's shoulders. I really thought that could have been, that was 3 right there.
Shiima Xion, for all the bragging, for all the outspokenness of him, he's absolutely living up to all of his words tonight.
And it's only a matter of time before one of these athletes hits their breaking point. You can sense it. They're running on fumes. They're pulling out the big moves, the game changers, the signature maneuvers to end this thing quick before they black out.
Clutching right now. Big super kick, my God! Incredible.
Phenomenal mid-ring exchange. There's nothing we could add to this. Gargano got the advantage in the short term, but the long term may depend on who can will themselves to their feet.
This is just unbelievable right now.
Gargano catches himself. Spear again. Oh! Crossface!
And that is not where Johnny Gargano wants to be with all of those shots to the head. He's been dropped how many times?
This has got to be it.
Arm is already damaged.
He almost tapped.
We've seen Super Indy's end with athletes passing out of the pain. But Gargano reverses, but only temporarily.
He rolls right back into it.
Purging the member Super Indy 5, Delirious 1 by making his opponent pass out. This could be more of the same tonight.
Shiima is yanking back as hard as he can. Look at the determination on his face.
Every tendon may be torn, but Gargano will not tap out.
Oh my God.
It's over!
Shiima Xion, the winner. I believe Gargano passed out.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of the Super Indy 9 Championship Tournament, Shiima Xion.
Unbelievable run for Shiima Xion in the 2010 Super Indy.
6 years from Shiima Xion's first bid in Super Indy. Shiima Xion is now the champion, but Johnny Gargano, much like we just touched upon, Farnsworth, did not give up, passed out from the pain.
Right there, the defending Super Indy champion is in, as he prepared for cage match 1 of 3.
The following steel cage contest will be for the IWC Super Indy Championship. And the only way to win is to escape the cage, either over the top or through the door, and both feet touch the floor. Introducing first, the champion. He weighs in at 180 pounds, wrestling out of the Philippines. He is your reigning and defending IWC Super Indy Champion, Shiima Xion!
Shiima Xion, right underneath the mask. Super Hentai out of Super Indy 9. Super Hentai out of going coast to coast, winning the championship at Super Indy 8 and successfully defending it 1 year later. Shiima Xion disrespected so many people, and tonight she comes to a head. Shiima Xion is prepared for what may be the fight of his life here tonight. Don't piss off Hentai.
And his opponent, he weighs in at 185 pounds and received formal training in Hayabusa, Japan. Here is Super Hentai!
Shiima's done something that no man has done before. Questioning Hentai's integrity, questioning his motivation, and especially questioning his legacy. No one has done for the Super Indy title what Hentai has. And Shiima Xion took all of that and spat on it and stepped on it and treated it as a footnote in history. Hentai has worked, has sacrificed his body, his mind, his soul, his health for IWC, for Super Indy, to be where he is today. And for a young kid to say Hentai doesn't have it anymore, to say that Hentai doesn't belong anymore, to say that Hentai is not on his level anymore, is a huge, huge insult. And this match has started already. There's a lot of pride here. Shiima Xion said he is going to be for Super Indy what Hentai used to be, what Hentai should have been.
Move! All move out of my court!
At a certain point, you have to do this for yourself.
See ya. Hentai and Shiima back here by the broadcast area. We got thousands of dollars of equipment back here in danger. And you can see how personal it's gotten. Regroup this, reset.
Is that the monitor line?
I don't know what's what right now, but... Well, it wasn't personal beforehand. You saw it got a heck of a lot worse with Shiima's pre-recorded comments and Hentai's pre-match comments. And Shiima is the first to taste the steel. Hentai is essentially fighting for his entire past and present. His legacy, his pride has been tarnished. Shiima is fighting for his ego to prove that he is better than Hentai ever was, and that's a very brazen statement.
Ego is such an oversimplification of it, though. You have to understand that Shiima essentially built himself into in the mold of Super Hentai. He was Super Hentai helped train him. He has followed the same course as Super Hentai with trying to win the Super Indy tournament, consistently trying to be the best in IWC, touring around the country. At some point, you have to separate yourself from your master. At some point, you have to become your own man. For each person, it's a different form of initiation, It's a different form of proving. This is how Shiima's trying to do it.
Hentai got elevated into the steel. Keep in mind the danger level of the steel. All around these ropes, there's no breathing room. There's no flexibility. There's no way for salvation. And we've already seen both men awkwardly hit the steel several times. And that's not a perfectly constructed cage that will rip away at your body. There's jagged edges. There's metal points sticking out.
Very true. Very, very true.
There's metal bars right down the middle.
This is not the blue Hogan cage that they constructed for him to climb. This is essentially something you use to hold animals in a pen.
Very fitting in this situation. One referee in the ring, one on the outside.
And that is, for clarification, that is Bobby Williams in
Bobby Williams is doing
and McLovin on the outside.
Oh! Oh my God! Huge splash by Shiima Xion.
Picture perfect frog splash. And now he's just throttling him.
Had a chance to go for a cover. Does so now. No. It's escape rules. What the hell's Bobby Williams doing in the ring now? But that's beside the point. Okay. Roll with it. It's escape the cage rules between Shiima and Hentai. And Shiima had a chance to escape before we hit that splash. But I think it's more personal than that. I think they want to inflict a lot of damage.
Yeah, exactly. In this match, the title is actually somewhat of an afterthought.
And you don't really like to think that way, but you kind of have to. I mean, the title is what has surrounded this entire rivalry, but really it's taken a back seat.
The title is just what you can hold over the person's head at the end of it.
It comes down to the pride factor. It comes down to Hentai fighting for his legacy that Shiima Xion has figuratively spit all over for the past 6 months.
And Hentai, trying to recover, rushes him to the corner.
Oh, hardest right hand in his weight class. Now you, Farnsworth, couldn't sit there and tell me that you agree with Shiima Xion that Hentai dropped the ball, has lost his motivation, has lost his love for the business. You can't sit here and say that Shima's right.
I can't, but I can tell you, look at the strength!
Brute strength! And Shiima hits hard right in the middle of the cage where that metal beam is outstretched. That dug into the spine of Shiima.
Just because I don't agree with Shima's argument doesn't mean I don't see the logic in it. I understand what he's saying. He's looking at Hentai and saying you could have gone to the top of this business and instead you stayed here.
And one would argue that in the mind of Super Hentai, this is the top of the business. Hentai's beaten Christopher Daniels. He's beaten CM Punk. He's beaten Jerry Lynn. He's gone toe-to-toe with AJ Styles. Hentai has beaten men who went on to become legitimate world champions.
He has beaten legitimate world champions while they were in that A game. Not men who were becoming champions. He's beaten champions. I don't deny that. My point is that he could be talked about in that same echelon as Chris Daniels, as Chris Sabin, as all of these people that he beat. And he is in certain circles, but not to the degree that Chris Daniels is.
Sure.
And Shiima is saying, why didn't you? Why didn't you go for that next level?
So Hentai is going to be criticized by one of his former students in front of the wrestling world. And torn down and ripped apart verbally and buried, for lack of a better term. Oh, God.
Nete right on the top of the head. Just drove him down.
Hentai's been a mentor for Shiima for so many years. And for Shiima to come back and say, hey, you never really accomplished anything, I think it's ludicrous.
Yeah, absolutely disrespectful. Absolutely mean. But it follows a line of logic. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm saying I understand it.
All right, well, Shiima, if he can scale over top here, he can go a long way to proving his point. And that still remains to be seen. Is Shiima better than Super Hentai? That argument is still very much up in the air if you ask me. And speaking of up in the air, Hentai and Shiima precariously perched. If Shiima falls, he's got this one, but Hentai has a death grip around the neck of Shiima.
It looked like Shiima was trying to go over, and Hentai just grabbed hold of his head and pulled down. put a lot of pressure on his midsection with that top steel bar.
I'll tell you
Shiima
what,
had to get that leg back over.
with these headbutts, if somebody loses their balance and falls off, I mean, sure, we can have a potential victory, but we can have a lot of injuries on top of it.
And Shiima needs to be careful there.
Well, they both need to be careful. Are you kidding me?
Well, my point being, Hentai is straddling the fence. He's a little more secure as far as his balance. But Shima's pulling him back down.
Shima's lower to the ground, and at this point, I think that's a good thing. Hentai has been internationally traveled. Shiima may have traveled a few more miles at a few years younger, but that's very relative. And that does not necessarily mean he's a better man. And Hentai's gonna out to prove that right now with a rapid fire headbutt to the top of the forehead.
I gotta be honest, I didn't think I would take that plan of attack while I'm trying to maintain my balance climbing around like Spider-Man on a cage.
And is Hentai going to go for the outside? Oh, Shiima, just left up the cage. Amazing agility by the younger Xion. And now, Russian leg sweep. Into the crossface. Shima's perfected this crossface in recent months.
But what good is it outside? He can't get a submission victory.
I'll tell you what, if Hentai passes out from the pain, how are you going to stop Shiima from escape?
True point.
That's what I think Shima's going for: suffering, humiliation, and victory all in one fell swoop. And Hentai rolled backwards to trap Shima's shoulders. No pinning combination here. Hentai's got to get his balance to get back up, and he's done it. Right into the Davey Boy Smith. No, lawn darts him into the side of the cage.
The cage can be your enemy, but every now and then it can be your friend. Well played by Hentai. Super Hentai.
Oh no. Well, we're not going to be playing any games now. I don't think we have a shot of it yet. But 375-pound Shane Taylor is on the right side of this ring right now. I don't think Hentai's noticed him either. He kind of slinked out here past this rampway, but Hentai has a very, very menacing individual waiting for him on the other side of these forks. Hentai goes for a moonsault. Hentai realized Taylor was on the outside and had to go back into the attack. Taylor has worked with Shiima in the past at length, Farnsworth.
Very true. And I don't blame him for altering the attack there, but...
And Taylor's intimidating this official now.
It bought Shiima enough time to get out of the way. Shiima now...
And maybe out of the cage. No! And Hentai climbing over top of Shiima, using Shima's body as a stepping stone.
And Shiima fighting his way up. The fight is still very evident in Shiima.
Holding on for dear life. You can see what this means to each man. Hentai, the personification of Super Indy. Shiima, the man that wants to replace Hentai. Hurricanrana from the top. That's at least a 10-foot drop from where Shiima was in the air.
It just flung him across the ring, torqued him right down. For once, these idiots have it right. That was awesome.
Well, you can hear the respect they have for Super Hentai. Many have followed him since day one, since March 02, when he won the Super Indy title. Hentai could get out, but watch who's there. Shane Taylor's there. With the outside referees, but taken out. Hentai won this thing. Hentai won this thing. I know you saw it. Shiima distracting Williams. The outside referee was incapacitated. I know Shiima's
10 minutes going by in this contest, 10 minutes.
Shiima's gonna sneak out. No, not like this. This won't prove a damn thing about being better than Hentai or supplanting his legacy.
But Hentai has the leg, he has the boot.
Gargano's got a shot at the winner, but I think he wants to see the winner determined in fair atmosphere. But Gargano dropped the chair, and Shiima has it now. Look out! Shiima aiming for Hentai.
Hentai caught it.
It's Gargano and Taylor on the outside, and Shiima uses the door. And Shiima got out.
Here is your winner, and still IWC Super Indy Champion, Shiima Xion!
Shiima Xion, with the help of Shane Taylor, was able to finagle his way into retaining the title. Gargano got it as well. Now what does that prove? The man that thought he was better than Super Hentai needed almost 400 pounds of backup to beat him.
Well, let's be honest. The number game that he thought he had all of a sudden got evened out. If he wanted to keep that title, he had to get out of the cage quickly.
Well, Shiima thought he was the better man, the better wrestler, the more well-traveled wrestler, the man that was going to replace Hentai. Hentai proved he's not ready to step aside yet, because Shiima couldn't get the job done alone.
Shiima will get to prove that another day, because you have to believe that Hentai is not giving up his quest for the title.
Now it's 2-on-1 on the outside, and Gargano is only trying to do what's right.
You have to believe that there is a huge amount of anger and bile just seething in Hentai right now, and he has to be upset that his body is failing him from that hard shot with the steel cage door, that he can't be out there throwing a couple of hard right hands into Shiima.
Well, Hentai may be concussed, but he knows Shiima couldn't get the job done on his own. That's evident. And we need some help out here. We need some help out here for Gargano. I've had enough of Shiima Xion.
I hate to break this to Pedro, but I don't think the bell's going to help.
Well, that's all we can hope for from Pedro. He's intimidated. We have a third official out here now. The other, one of them's hurt. Oh, come on.
That's a photo op.
A photo op my rear end. This is disgusting. What does this prove? Not a thing.
Well, it proves that Gargano shouldn't have tried to jump his place in line.
And Hentai is still struggling to his feet because Hentai sees a fight he's not a part of, and that upsets him. Shiima did not get what he deserved here tonight. Didn't get anyone. And look at Gargano fighting still. Gargano with the heart of a champion.
Gargano has a little fight left in him. Apparently not enough, though.
Come on. Can we get somebody out here, please? Order. This is a Hentai.
Come on, gotta get him out of here.
Oh, look at Shiima Hentai. Hentai still daring Shiima Xion to do something. Can you believe the intestinal fortitude in Hentai?
It's Hentai is climbing the cage.
What the hell are you doing? Oh my God!
What the hell is he thinking?
No!
Get out! Everyone out!
He's a
Move!
Live to fly and fly to live to a new level! Hentai may have sacrificed himself to take it to Shiima Xion and Shane Taylor. That is at least 15 feet off the ground. And there is nothing to land on but human body and covered basketball floor. No padding or protection. And I think we have people that are seriously hurt out here. Hentai is hurt. Shiima is hurt. Taylor is hurt. We got a lot of help on the way out here. But that was to say the least to a new level. Folks, a big time match talked about for long to come.
Introducing first, being escorted to ringside by the Earthquake, notorious Shane Taylor. He weighs in at 180 pounds and is wrestling out of the Philippines. He is the IWC Super Indy Champion, Shiima Xion!
Tonight for Shiima Xion, it's not about the Super Indy title. It's not about convincing the world that he's a better representative of the division than Super Hentai, that he's eclipsed Hentai success, and that Hentai is a has-been. It's not about any of those claims, any of those allegations. It's not about his international success in wrestling and modeling. It's about stepping into the ring with a bona fide world champion, a man watched on television throughout North America, France, India, and beyond, and not only hanging with him, but perhaps defeating him. Perhaps the biggest test of Shiima's career is here, is now, with winner taking all. What role will the 375-pound notorious Shane Taylor play? I hope none, but you never know.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've just been informed by referee Brandon Toll that in this contest, the notorious Shane Taylor has been banned from ringside.
All right. Good call, Toll. If I were Taylor, I'd leave. I wouldn't stick around and hear Toll talk any more than they needed to anyway. But Shane Taylor's out of here, and we're going to have a one-on-one contest between two of the best athletes I've seen in my career. And Taylor will not be a factor. The Girthquake has been silent. Mostly. And now, how does this affect Shiima's mindset? Shiima had Taylor as a security blanket, as a safety net.
This place was Armageddon.
And his opponent, he weighs in at 205 pounds and is wrestling out of Temple, Florida. He is the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion,
Roderick Strong captured the Ring of Honor World title on September 11th of this year, defeating previous champion Tyler Black in New York City at Glory by Honor 9. It was Tyler's last match before heading to the WWE. I was fortunate enough to be in attendance that night in New York, and the atmosphere was off the page. Roderick Strong truly arrived on that night and has not looked back since. Brandon Toll sounds for the bell, and here we go. IWC Super Indy Champion versus Ring of Honor World Champion. One fall contest, no Shane Taylor at ringside. Roderick has an interesting story himself. Went 0-15 in Ring of Honor World title matches in his career. Began to doubt himself. Said 2010 was his year, but began to feel everybody in the Ring of Honor organization was lying to him, trying to hold him down. Roderick was looking for one man to tell him the truth. And he apparently found that man in Truth Martini, legendary professional wrestler and trainer from the state of Michigan, responsible for training the one-legged wonder Zach Gowen, among many others. Truth has been guiding Roderick Strong and a number of others in Ring of Honor, and Strong credits Truth Martini to a large degree of the success Roddy's been having. What a night it was, and Roddy won that world title. Terry Funk, the ringside enforcer of that Roderick Strong matchup. High pressure situation, but Roddy survived. Meanwhile, Shiima Xion has been in high pressure situations himself. What about that matchup with Jimmy DeMarco a year ago? at a call to arms full circle? What about the tag team cage matches, the four-way matches, matches in Mexico, in Japan, in Canada, all over the United States? Shiima Xion is the most worldly traveled, well-traveled, and versatile young athlete to base his career in the Pittsburgh area in at least 10 years. I firmly believe you have to go back to Kurt Angle to find a better pound-for-pound Pittsburgh area-based athlete than Shiima Xion. And that's being put to the test here. Lateral press, a couple of one counts. And Shiima pops up quickly. Roderick Strong is a lethal striker. His chops are among the hardest in this business. He is expertly able to use the ring apron and the ring in general as an offensive weapon. He'll be looking for a Boston Crab he calls the stronghold. He'll be looking for the Gibson driver. It's a variation of a Tiger Bomb, Tiger driver-like maneuver that he picked up from James Gibson during Gibson's time in Ring of Honor. Of course, Gibson, more better known as Jamie Noble. Roderick has also streamlined his physique. He's in a bad shape, I've seen him. And he's frustrating Shiima early. Shiima knows the lucha style, the Japanese style. Well versed, he can fly as well. Roderick Strong is going to excel on the mat, however. If this is a technical contest, Roddy's got the advantage. And I have the utmost respect for both these athletes. I do not agree with a lot of what Shiima's done in the past year and a half. I don't agree with Roddy's career direction now with Truth Martini. But I love both of these guys. They're amazing athletes. And it's a treat to watch them perform and to call this matchup. And I think we're going to see more of a competition, more of a competitive atmosphere than some may think. Shiima doesn't have the Ring of Honor experience, the FIC experience, the PWG experience, all the major promotions that one would think of as buzzworthy. But Shiima's faced the best. Shiima's wrestled AJ Styles in IWC. He's wrestled Chris Sabin in IWC, Alex Shelley. That was a different Shiima than we see today. A younger Shiima, a more naive Shiima, a smaller Shiima. Shiima's got a variation of short arm scissors, the arm of Roddy. You want to take away those arms, that takes away the striking game Roddy has. It's a smart move by the Filipino Flex Factory.
Come on, Roddy.
And Shiima's targeting that left-handed arm. On your average competitor, the left arm would be the weaker of his two arms, of his appendages. So you weaken that, you create an opening, you get him favoring it, and you never know what doors or windows can open. And Roderick will strike. There you see the beginning of the chop. Shiima went after the left hand, but Roddy struck with the right. And there you see why Roderick Strong is so well versed. A lot of guys get hit and hit hard. But few can compare to Roderick Strong. 2 count. All right, he's got a big battle in just a few weeks back in New York. And then Davey Richards one-on-one for the world title. Roddy needs momentum. Into
5 minutes gone by in this contest, 5 minutes.
Into a match with Davey Richards, who is so focused and intense. Man, we've seen an IWC here before. If Roderick Strong loses to Shiima Xion tonight, how will that affect his already at points fragile psyche? And Shiima trying to fight his way out of the corner. He won't beat Roddy in a striking game, however. Up and over, Shiima puts the brakes on. Shiima's got to quicken this pace. Shiima, I'd say, is maybe about 15 to 20 pounds lighter than Roddy. May not look it. Look out, and Shiima brings in with a crystal pistol. Sends Roddy face first. Cover Roddy on the ropes again. That's what Shiima's got to do.
He's got to break out maneuvers and offense that Roddy hasn't seen that often. He's got to pick his spots. He's got to be different. He's got to hit and run, like he is here with the elevated baseball slide. And now with this match on the outside, it's tough to say who this favors. Both men have excelled well in wild, brawling type situations. And as long as Roddy has that knife-edge chop within reach, he's never out of the fight. You see Roddy start to use that ring apron as a weapon, push Shiima into it, and now, just bent the back, bent the spine. That ring frame is metal and wood, no give. It's the hardest, toughest part of a wrestling ring. Roddy knows that. That's why he is called the Messiah of the Backbreaker. Roddy's IWC debut. I believe only his second time in the Pittsburgh area. So he wants to make a firm impression as well. And not just on our fans, but I guess on Shiima's chest. And I can see from all the way on the other side of the building, I can see Shiima's chest change into various shades of bright red. And there have been many a time Roderick Strong has opened up skin on his opponent's chest. And been proud of it. Why not? A physical, intense, in-your-face Ring of Honor style translates well anywhere. You can look at any promotion in this world that has Ring of Honor alumnus doing very successfully on their roster. No different here. Shiima's not used to such an in-your-face atmosphere. Shiima likes to be flashy. He likes it when the spotlight's on him. There's no denying that. Shiima loves to show off. But this is not about showing off when it's Roddy Strong. It's all about a gut check. Up and down with a back suplex. Cover. Doesn't hook a leg, though. And Strong can't underestimate Shiima. Super Indy champion. And that's a championship. Styles, Sabin, McChesney, Gambino, Delirious. So many guys have won. And 5 times as many guys have tried but failed to capture that title. You already got a variation of the seated abdominal stretch. He just has it halfway on. And the torque on the upper body of digging away at the facial feet. Shiima doesn't like that. But I'll tell you what, Roderick Strong, despite recent allegiances, he's a traditionalist as well. He respects his business. And you know Roderick Strong would respect, and maybe does respect, Super Hentai's contributions to IWC. Wouldn't appreciate Shiima Xion trying to push him out the back door, so to speak. Look at this. Check this physicality out.
10 minutes gone by in this contest, 10 minutes.
So the clock is blazing by here, already 10 minutes deep. Shiima in trouble. Another backbreaker variation. Roddy's got so many. That time was a Uranagi style. He got 2. And the point of impact is squarely on the knee of Roderick Strong. That's the first body part of Shiima that hits anywhere. So there's no way for Shiima to brace himself. He's practically in free fall and then bounces off the knee of Strong. His spine bends and contorts. Now Roderick going high risk. Shiima just trying to fight for his life, fight free. Shiima pushes Roddy off. Huge missile drop kick. A Shiima Xion staple will be enough to turn the tide. I'll tell you what, IWC loyalists, IWC fans,
They see Shiima as the regular. They see Shiima as theirs. Roddy's the guest. So, agree with Shiima or disagree, not surprised he has some fan support himself. Beginning to string a few maneuvers together. Gonna charge in. Roddy trying to stay a step ahead. Nothing doing. DDT. Shiima uses the momentum. Gets 3-0. And Shiima was a half a count away from pinning the Ring of Honor World Champion. Non-title matchup, but even still, huge feather in the cap. And you know this footage would go to Ring of Honor's offices. It would go to the executive producer, Jim Cornette. Shiima can make headlines here. But Roderick Strong fighting for his reputation. The Samoan drop. The kip up. Shiima hits the moonsault. Cape Brown up or two. A near fall situation. Strong tried to squirm out of the way at the last second, but Shiima made an adjustment. And Shiima is signaling for the end. His signature maneuver. Roddy has to have it scouted. The Enziguri, the jump up. Right into hard impactful suplex. Almost a falcon arrow. And that got a near fall. Into the buckle. Follow through. Roderick can hit you from all sides, in all ways. I noticed quickly he strings together this impact. He's got to know near fall. Roddy may be ready to finish off Shiima. Went for a half Nelson. In Pittsburgh, we call that a Father Nelson. Shades of the late great Devil Budokan, but he couldn't snap at all. Shiima got the side Russian leg sweep into the crossface. And Shiima has been utilizing this crossface in recent months. He's attempting to perfect it. If he gets the world champion of Ring of Honor to tap out, I'd say he'd have succeeded. And Shiima, risking disqualification, breaking on foreign chains, getting the most he can out of that maneuver, doing as much damage as possible, but it was not enough to stop Roderick Strong. A duck. The Enziguri kick connects. Falcon Air one more time countered, went to the much too often. Strong escaped the suplex, couldn't escape the super kick. Cover burn two. Another near fall situation. Shiima, don't advertise it, brother.
15 minutes gone by in this contest. 15 minutes.
Just go for it. Ouch, and Roderick Strong. Vertical leap on his part. A third Enziguri to Shiima, this time with Shiima on the second turnbuckle. Oh, those chops are so much more dangerous when you're on the second turnbuckle. If you fall from that distance, you're done. Now what is this? And again, Roddy uses the ring as a weapon. A backbreaker, but using the turnbuckle. I think, wait, cover, got it, no. Oh wait, strong hold. Strong hold. And notice how closely Roddy is cinching into Shiima's body. There's no air between Roderick's backside and Shiima's lower back. It's all torque. It's all torquing back. Wait a second. Strong trying to cinch back in. Shiima inching to the ropes. That sent Strong off balance. Roddy had to get up to maintain his balance, keep the hold on. And that allowed Shiima to get to the rope. Nicely done by the Super Indy champion. That stronghold has put away many a man. And that's a subtle technique that often goes overlooked in matches like this, but will win or lose these contests. And that's the reason Shiima's still alive. Shiima keeping up the pace, but a boot to the allegedly gorgeous facial features. Roddy, 2 steps ahead, several adjustments, but Shiima winds up on top. Super kick, done, no! Back to the crossface. Can Roddy escape a second time? Roddy bridges the weight back, but Shiima rolled with it. He stayed with the pressure, with the momentum, and came out on top again. Roddy turned away from the hold to alleviate some of the pressure. Dropped the shoulders, but that couldn't get it. Back to the stronghold. The lower to the ground Roddy is, the more pain Shiima feels. And Roddy can't cinch in because Shiima continues to move. Roll up, no. Another near fall. Amazing. Wrestling at its artistic best, its competitive best. This is the IWC in Western Pennsylvania. I am Joe Dombrowski. I am proud to be part of this matchup, of this company, of this moment. I'll tell you what, this is not about me, but I've had the privilege of calling some of Roddy's biggest Ring of Honor matches this year. And many men in Ring of Honor have not put up the fight that Shiima has. And that says so much for Shiima. One more! And Shiima waited for one moment. One lapse in focus of Roddy. Super kick barrage, but again, not enough. And you see the desperation, the emotion on the face of Shiima Xion as he begins to question if he has it. What will it take? How much more? How much longer? Lost to dust countered. The jumping knees. High angle back suplex. Shiima to the back of the neck. Oh, you can see the neck snap back on Shiima. You can see it. A whiplash-like effect. And Roddy with a stomach breaker. Got it. No, near fall. And now, Gibson driver. Gibson driver. Roddy, he finally did it with the Gibson driver.
Here is your winner, the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion, Roderick Strong!
Looking at a former Super Indy finalist in Justin Idol, the feature presentation, David R. DiMera, Corey Futuristic, who thinks he's from the future because he's bat-you-know-what crazy, and of course, the future of fashion and the Filipino Flex Factory, Shiima Xion, freshly back from Orlando, Florida, where he's making some big waves in professional wrestling.
You know, let's start with, I got a question. What happened between Lowrider and Shiima? I know that they were close at one point. I actually met Lowrider through Shiima. I guess the bigger question is, does Chest Flexor have enough money to get people to betray friends? And if so, how can I get a part of this?
So you still believe Chest Flexor when he claims to be the billion-dollar man?
No, well, I didn't until clearly a person who used to be close to Shiima Xion is now standing against him.
Well,
it takes some cash to do that.
I think there's a lot of professional and personal rivalry and jealousy there between the two men. Shiima spent extensive time in Mexico. We'll see if they collide. In the course of this matchup, it's chest flexor, and then right now with David or DiMera, we've seen them clash in the past, but 8-man tag, it's going to be very unpredictable, very fast-paced action between a lot of guys who are looking for a major statement, a major banner night for their careers to stand out at Super Indy 10.
And they're dropping grievances with each other. Justin Idol and Shiima Xion, correct me if I'm wrong, there's no love lost there either.
A long-time rivalry in the tag team division, right you are, Mr. Naylor. It's Cingsley now with the size advantage over Corey Futuristic. Why does this guy think he's from the future? Doesn't make any sense to me.
Because he is.
How do you know?
Because he is. He told me.
Did he give you some stock tips or some Super Bowl results or something?
Possibly.
Make some money off of this thing?
Some of them were right.
I see.
The third member of the new breed.
Maybe he's from the future, but he lies.
He's from 3002, man. I'm telling you.
I see. Well, he claims that there was some sort of difference between him and Chest Flexor that had happened in the future, and that's why they're not teaming tonight. He says Chest Flexor turns into some kind of a horrible person, which leads me to believe that, you know, isn't he bad enough already? Cingsley take him down. That's a good question.
I'm going with Robot.
He's dressed like a pillow half the time. There's the satellite head scissors by Futuristic, who's got great agility on his side. But Cingsley with the power. Oh, dropping Futuristic down into the backbreaker.
You can tell Futuristic still learning the ropes, still trying to get used to competing against people. It looked like he wanted to go for a satellite head scissor and just sort of got lost in that and took a backbreaker from Cingsley.
Well, he allegedly has a few hundred years of experience. You'd think he'd get it by now.
Well, you don't know that. I mean, has he said in the future he has the... Maybe right now, he's in the present.
If he's in the future, I believe in de-evolution, as we have a near-fall center of the ring, and a tag has been made to one of the most underrated athletes. Well, let's make it two of the most underrated in the area. Justin Idol, former multiple-time tag team champion, and the frontman Logan Shulo. We've seen both men perform well in Super Indies in years gone by, but failed to make the elite field of 10 this evening that is here from all over the world to crown one Super Indy champion. Of course, Hentai moves in as defending Super Indy champion, looking to three-peat.
Justin Idol using some of that veteran presence here with a series of arm drags. This guy's been around, he's done it all. And Logan Shulo, a bit younger, but this guy's versatile as well. Great power and very underrated high-flying skills.
We saw amazing versatility and aerial skills from Shulo back 3 weeks ago as he not just boots Justin Idol, but physically drives Idol down into the canvas. We saw Shulo give it his all against Ricky Reyes in a Super Indy qualifier, but now Shiima Xion enters. But here's that rivalry with Shiima and Lowrider.
Was there a tag?
I'm not sure. It might be Lucha Rules as far as Lowrider is concerned.
Very true.
Look at this action.
That language barrier that exists between the United States and the Lucha style in Mexico. Lowrider has youth on his side. He's only 18 years old. Seems like he's been 18 for 2.5 years. I'm not sure how he does it, but be that as it may, Naylor, you know about the Fountain of Youth yourself.
Look at this! Beautiful Rana! Rope-assisted bounce right there. Lowrider on fire! Oh, until he ate that boot.
But let's not discount Shiima. Studied extensively in Mexico. He knows this style. Springboard into the arm drag. Nicely done.
Shiima Xion, Lowrider tearing it up right here in our pre-show match.
And let's be honest, I don't know that Shiima Xion's ever looked in better shape. Looks like he's put on a little more muscle. And now, for all that speed combined with power, he is a force to be reckoned with.
Oh, yeah. Recent appearances all over this country, including on Impact Wrestling on Spike TV. Lowrider goes to the eyes. I'm sure Chest Flexor taught him that one out of the language barrier.
I wouldn't be surprised. Whoa!
Another beautiful lucha-style arm drag.
Carousel arm drag, if you will, over the top. Lowrider hits a forearm. Look at this, perpetual motion.
Springboard lost his balance, great recovery! Into the corkscrew, could have it here, 2.5.
Beautiful spinning body press.
The problem with all that speed is when you see someone moving like that, and then all of a sudden they stop, you're not sure is that part of what they're doing, and you try and adjust. That's what happened to Shiima.
Lowrider slipped, and Shiima tried to stop to figure out what he was doing, and it gave Lowrider the chance to hit that springboard.
Oh, you want to talk about adjustments? It's a culture shock from Lowrider to Logan Shulo. Two different styles, and there's the power of the front man. Follow through clothesline. No one in this matchup can match Logan Shulo in the power department, and that could be Shiima's downfall right now.
Well, I've heard that a Gory Futuristic will be able to in the future.
I see. You depend on that kid a lot for information, don't you?
Well, this is just what I've heard. He is from the future, and that's who you trust.
Does everybody wear that weird eye makeup in the future? Does he just not sleep a lot, or what's the deal?
I didn't ask.
I see.
It is pretty weird. I'm not going to give you that.
Is Jason Gory from the future?
No, I don't think.
Could be a future Super Indy champion. We'll see at the end of the night.
He might just be futuristic.
Shiima Xion, you can see him wincing in pain in the lower back. Shulo has got himself, again, much like Shiima, in such great physical conditioning, and he's got that focus and confidence that he lacked in his first year or two in the business as well, now that he used that rock and roll type lifestyle into his pro wrestling career.
Oh.
Shiima hair quicker, catches Shulo off guard, and makes the tag. Into the matchup comes David R. DiMera, a man who wants to springboard for professional wrestling into a career on stage and screen, but easier said than done. The would-be good looks of DiMera may be permanently scarred by Shulo. Well, this matchup is done. It's the music world and the film world.
Well, really, if Ted DiBiase Jr. can do it, how tough can it be?
I won't touch that one. Logan Shulo. Suplex, hang on. Able to combo it with a back suplex right in the back of the neck, 2-0.
No doubt about it, Joe. You said it earlier, but really a lot of improvement on Logan Shulo's part. Just chaining moves together like a 10-year veteran even.
Oh, speaking of improvements, chest flexor is certainly, up for debate whether or not he's improved his wardrobe here from prior months, but
that wardrobe is downright impressive.
Farnsworth, as we see the illegal triple team in the corner on the left side, we've asked this a lot of times over the last several months. I'll get your take on it since it's been a while since we've been together. Who is Chest Flexor?
Chest Flexor is the billion-dollar man. He is the man in the ring that is commanding this amazing team. He's the man that has the bank account to not only afford to turn a friend against friend, but can afford that outfit.
So he just randomly found $1 billion in a sock drawer one day.
I didn't ask him how. Maybe he earned it.
You don't do a lot of follow-up, do you?
But, he seems trustworthy.
I see. Tag in, Cingsley in now.
You don't ask too many questions when there's $1 billion in front of you.
Naylor, how'd you like to meet Cingsley on a dark alley?
That would be a really, really bad night for me, let me tell you.
Step over toe hold, very funk-esque, if you will. Some extra torque on it, on DiMera.
Oh, hard punch to the face. That's one way out of that.
DiMera knows he's in enemy territory right now. The Flexor team has been able to cut off the ring at its hypotenuse. For the moment, DiMera inching, crawling to the tag, but Flexor tag backed in, but set right into enemy territory, tag into idle. The most experienced in tag team competition is now firing away on everybody. 2 for the price of 1.
Hypotenuse? Geometrician.
You gotta catch up. Lowrider maybe goes to the Pedrito driver. Idle counters. The STO into the backbreaker.
And the beat down on idle. Oh! I think we're breaking down here, gentlemen.
The officials completely lost control. 8 men all looking to stand out, much of them with their first major career opportunity. And this is what you get, the heart and desire of the IWC. Team Flexor is reeling. And the meeting of the mind center ring doesn't help matters. Shiima directing traffic.
And everyone bailed out.
Oh, wait a minute. Something big coming right here, guys.
Oh, Shiima's always life or death with high risk.
Oh,
beautiful springboard moonsault to the outside.
Wait a minute. Lowrider tuning up the fan here. This guy can fly.
He's got about 7 prone bodies to work with. The corkscrew. It's a human demolition derby as twirl.
I don't know if you caught this, but when Lowrider went for that move, he kicked Shiima Xion square in the head. Shiima's slow to get up.
I am so impressed with Lowrider, the youngster out of Perros del Mal promotion. Catches the boot in the face.
Yeah, that Mexican Shulo, he's known life on the streets his entire existence, but now there's nothing to prepare for IWC, and Logan Shulo's vertical leap. Can you believe it? That guy's got to be about 6'3" or 4, and he's got about an 8-foot vertical leap. Lowrider, huge stomp! This could be all. Lowrider could get it here. Oh no! And Idol connects with a thrust kick. Lowrider may not remember his latest stay in the U.S., but watch Shiima. The two veterans on the same team, Idol and Shiima! To the 450, the pin, and Shiima gets the victory. What an action-packed 8-man tag, and gentlemen, this event hasn't even officially started.